Okay, everybody's muted but me. Wow, I feel so powerful. I could sing and you'd be forced to listen.
Okay, I see.
5 seconds. Here we go.
Kristen, you look lovely, like 90s era Madonna.
21st century Kristen Caven is what I am. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to our 2020-2020 annual book launch for the California Writers Club. I have a few opening remarks, and then I'm going to give an orientation, and then I'm going to give an overview of our afternoon, and then we're going to dive right in. So here's my opening remarks. Yesterday, Mercury went into retrograde. I almost said overdrive. Yesterday, Mercury went into overdrive, and I am grateful that I had people help plan this out, but what that means is things are going to go wrong, especially with technology and communications. I've been going on about, I've had about 8 hours of sleep in the last 3 days, so I'm sort of lost my basic abilities to function, including much my speech. And as my husband noticed, object permanence. I forget where things are a second ago. So forgive me if I burst into tears. It's partly what this incredible time is that we're going through. Last night, as I was driving to help, I have a family member who was injured, and that's been pretty overwhelming for the last couple days as I've been trying to prepare this meeting, but I think we're good. Last night, as I was driving around midnight to help somebody get back into bed, I saw fireworks over downtown Oakland. And I just wanted to say happy Juneteenth, everyone. There were thousands who gathered in Oakland yesterday to shut the port down in a peaceful protest. And we are all right now witnessing history. We're not going back from this time. And we are all in this crazy world events. We're all watching a new world be born. So what's exciting to me about it is we're seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a long and dark and confusing time, partly in these last 4 years, definitely these last 3 years as I've been president of this club. But if for the last, hundreds and thousands of years. The light is streaming and bursting from blackness. And I find that really profound, and I know that everybody in this room has been a part of that in one way or another. Hi, I'm Kristen Caven, and I'm a writer. Those are all my books behind me. California Writers Club is a place where we come together and we say, these are all my books. We identify ourselves as writers, and we work together to get our thoughts, feelings, and ideas out into the world. When we were meeting live, we had this banner.
Can you hear me? Because I can't.
We had a banner that hung in the front of the room, and under the banner, our members would donate all of their books, and we had a huge line of all of our books and the work of our writers that would be below this banner every time we gathered and every time we took a photograph. We don't have our banner, we're not meeting live anymore, but we will have a chance to celebrate all the books today in our book launch. We are writers, helping writers since 1909. The Berkeley Branch of the California Writers Club was the founding branch. It is a group that is now statewide. We have around 2,000 members, and we are very proud of our status and our history. Those who get the most from this club are ones who really connect with our history and imagine our future. We were founded by members of the Alameda Press Club, and including Ina Coolbrith, the first poet laureate of California, founding members of the Bohemian Club, which was for artists before it was taken over by millionaires and politicians. We have a sense of place in Joaquin Miller Park and Jack London Square. These are two writers who stood on the side of the oppressed and wanted to create a greater humanity. Their works are immortalized, and Oakland has recognized them as their own. You can learn more about us on our website after this meeting, but I'm going to now give you and show you how to do all that. So you'll see a big welcome screen. And I'm going to just go through a couple meeting controls. We're going to start with on the lower left. You should all know how to do this by now. If everybody could unmute themselves and give a big hello.
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 Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to hear all your voices.
We can only see 6 people though.
So I'm going to explain that. So this is a little drill we're going to do throughout our reading, because it's really difficult for anyone who's performing right now to feel their audience paying attention. So every so often throughout our program, we're going to be unmuting ourselves for a round of applause. I'll take a round of applause right now. Thank you. I really need that. Okay, so the next control is start and stop your video. Could everybody please stop your video at this time?
Shall we mute ourselves too, or?
Go ahead and mute yourselves again. Thank you. So that's great. All I see is myself and the California Writers Club in the middle there. Up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you will see a way to switch from speaker view to gallery view. I'd like everybody to turn their screens back on again so we can see everybody. And now click to gallery view so you see everybody in a huge Brady Bunch box.
Mine says exit full screen. It might be different because you're in screen share.
Does anybody see, does everybody see the gallery view?
You have to get rid of the screen.
Gallery view is not
Okay.
an option when you're in screen share.
Okay, we'll come back to that. I need to use this screen share
But
for a
we have
minute.
no speaker view.
Okay, we'll do that after I do an overview of the program. So there's this welcome page. I just wanted to tell you, now during the meeting, our norms are please keep your camera off and your mic muted until asked to turn them on. I'm going to actually see if I can annotate this. There we go. Tools. So keep camera off and mic muted until asked to turn them on. Whoops. Wow, I don't know what I'm making now, but it's cool. And okay. Could everybody open the chat box right now? And use the chat box to send encouragement to our authors, and you can also work out your help. I see we've already got help from an experienced Zoom user who can help everybody. Thank you, John. Rah, rah, writers. Okay.
I think it's great sometimes when you're listening to something, if you hear a line you like, you can type that line in the chat box.
That voice that you hear speaking is the president of their club. I'm going to start your video and say hello.
Oh,
Karma.
no, okay.
You don't have to, if you don't want to. Anyway, that disembodied voice you hear.
Because I put Keith's background up already.
Okay, don't, okay, she's disembodied, but that's okay. I just want you to know that Karma's being our technical support behind the scenes right now. So that's who that is, and she's going to be keeping an eye on the chat, and she might pop in once in a while too, with comments from the chat.
When
So,
someone's reading, who are we going to see?
Can you? I'll explain. The next thing is I'd like everybody to access the program. If you could open up a browser window that is for cwcberkeley.org/event. I'm going to go there and show it to you in a minute. At the end of our event, we're going to break out into breakout rooms for poets, fiction authors, nonfiction authors, and writers. I'll come back about that. But right now, all of the authors who would like to get video, I'd like you to test the recording button. I may need to give you permission to record. Does everybody look like you can record?
It says ask for permission.
Okay, I need to see.
This is JoAnn, and I also have to ask for permission.
Well, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
I clicked OK.
I'm clicking OK.
Okay. So,
It looks like there's a red recording button up to the left. Does that mean it's actually recording?
It is, but that's recording to Kristen's computer.
yes, that means I'm recording the main meeting, but you can also record your section and start recording before and stop recording after.
Okay, so but it says to request the permission. So do you see?
click request permission. I'm not seeing anything on my screen.
It may be.
It
because
just
you're
says
screen
please
sharing.
request, and then I say okay.
Yeah.
But you're not maybe getting that message.
It may be because of the screen share. Let me check the.
Okay, I'll get back to that. But if everybody's requested it, then I'll be able to go and approve them as we move on.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for our orientation. Now I'm going to give you an overview of the program. All right, I'm going to stop this share somehow.
I am going to drop the event link in the chat. It's just our website /event.
Thank you. That's much easier than typing it. If everybody could go ahead and click on that link and open a browser window, I will show you what you'll see.
I don't know where the link is.
Go to the chat window. It's cwcberkeley.org/event. And you'll see it in the, if you go to the chat window, you can just click on that and it'll open in your browser.
This is what you will see. You'll see a page that has all the resources for this event in it. There's the program. There's the bookshop where you can buy any of the books by our authors. I'm going to show you all these things real quick.
You realize that's my screen being shared, Kristen?
Say again?
That's my screen.
No,
I shared my screen.
Okay.
That's my screen.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, good luck with that.
So just moving down here, I'm going to go from the back to the front. So the wind in your sails here is I've just completed being president for 3 years, and as a parting gift, I created an ebook that contains all of my messages I've written to the club, and I hope it will help the club to sail on for many years to come. If you go to this page, you can make a donation by just clicking right on the picture. All proceeds will go to the club. Anything over 99 cents is great. All the proceeds from this event are going to be going to our Jack and Jenny fund. Jenny Prentice was Jack London's guardian angel. She was a former slave who helped him, I think she bought him the Snark. There's a page on our website about her, but she bought him his sailing ship and got him launched as a writer. So in their honor, we've created a fund for writers in need, and all of the proceeds from this event are going to go to one of our writers of color who is fighting homelessness right now during this really difficult time of the everything. So I encourage you all to buy books through the bookshop, purchase my book, make a donation, And we are going to have, as part of our program, we're going to be doing an auction. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of this.
Again,
We
Kristen,
have all.
it's my screen.
Does everybody see the auction right now? Because I say
Yes,
you are.
but they're looking at my screen.
Okay,
No.
Karma. As long
Well,
as
you can choose whether we want to see Karma's screen or Kristen's screen.
okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna.
neat.
Karma, can you stop sharing your screen?
Can do.
Okay. You can share. You can share later, but right now it'll be me.
No worries.
So this auction will be introducing each of these auction bundles. These are the books that have been in the front of our room for several years. And usually we have a raffle at every event, and we get to read each other's books. So I encourage everybody to donate and purchase each other's books, especially if there's something that's in your genre that you write, and you can get to know the other authors in our club and co-promote their books.
Yeah.
The next thing is... there's a link here to join the club if we have any guests who are interested in joining our club. And finally, we're coming to our program. So we have 20 plus authors, 20 plus new books. It's June 20, 2020. So it feels very auspicious. And this is our fourth year of doing an author showcase before Father's Day. We usually should meet on Father's Day. And it's just really cool to have all these online tools. So we've divided everything into genres, and you guys can access this on your own. I'm going to turn off this screen, but you can follow along with the program. This is important. If you're in the program, you can see who comes before you and who is after you. The authors in red, we are going to play a video of them because they won't, and everybody else will be reading live. There are about 5 authors who are not able to appear today. I've sent an email to certain members of our club who might have seen their name in the link, and I would love everybody's help in reading the reviews when we come to that spot. So first we're going to do major groups, but we're going to use our poetry as interludes as we switch between our events. First we'll do our fiction authors, then we'll have a poetry interlude. Well, first we'll do a poetry kickoff, then our fiction authors, then we'll have a poetry interlude, and then we'll do our nonfiction authors, another interlude, and then we're going to announce the books that aren't out yet, but they're coming this fall. We're just as proud of you as everybody who has already published. And at the end, we're going to have door prizes. So how great is that? We have about 6 authors who have offered to give away their books to our guests today. And then at the end, you may have read in our PR that we were going to ask each author a question. So that was the idea. But we're going to save all questions to the end. We're going to have breakouts to each of our, we're going to have a poetry, a nonfiction, and a fiction breakout room. And if there's anyone who is interested in speaking with a specific author, so as either now or throughout the meeting, you can put in the chat which breakout room you'd like to be in, because everybody can just go into one. So you don't have to say right now, but by the end of the coming soons, I'd like to have the breakout rooms figured out. So I hope, and you can put a genre or a specific author you'd like to face-to-face with. So thank you to everybody who's helped make this happen. At this time, I will just ask I'm going to stop the share, and I will ask if there's any questions about the housekeeping before we get into our event. So does anyone have a question? You can raise your hand visually. I'm going to, you can probably see the gallery view now. You can click on the gallery view and see everyone.
I've also unmuted everyone just in case and Arden has a question, I see.
Okay, great. So thank you for using your hand raising. And Arden, what's your question?
Hi, everybody. I just want to know if I'm a renewing member or, I just kind of don't remember my status, and if I have an automatic update.
Okay.
Okay. Could somebody tell me?
I will tell you that. because I am moving from being the president to the interim membership chair. We're looking for a new membership chair. Now is the time, if you're already a member, we're in what's called the renewal window. Sometime between now and the end of summer, you will need to renew your membership. I'll be sending out an email to everybody who hasn't renewed. Some people have automatic renewals set in, and so don't stress it. Everybody is a member until, if we haven't received your renewal before the end of August, you won't get kicked. Well, if we haven't received your renewal, your membership will end at that time. Oh, I see someone's drinking wine. How fun is that? But you will have a lot of chances to renew your membership. So no worries, you're still a member right now. All of our old members and all of our new members are currently members at this time.
I do think that you should worry in the sense that if you do let it lapse entirely, it costs $20 more. So
yeah, but don't worry about that now. We're just going to enjoy our book launch. And there's all the information is at that join link in the events page.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I just want to, can I just check in with all the authors, all the members who I called out in the chat? Let's see. Linda, Christina, Bobby, Thaddeus, and Diane. You are members who don't have a book coming out this year, but I would still, or who aren't in the lineup, but I would still love to, if you could help out with other members. Can I just hear from you guys that you got your email, if you can help?
I can help.
Yes, I got that email, and I'm glad to do Tim Jollymore's remarks.
Okay, great. Great. So we will just work on that as we get as we.
I didn't get an email, so
I didn't either.
What we're working on.
Oh, who didn't? Thaddeus and who?
I did not get one.
Who's that speaking? Is that Bobby?
Bobby, right?
Okay. I'll just go I'll double check. It would come from the Berkeley Branch, and you can search for something from berkeley.cwc. Okay, so as we go along, here's what we're going to do. Everyone's going to turn off your video now. And then turn on their video, and I'll just kind of walk everyone through and tell you when to turn on and off. So right now, I would like to start with Keith Gaboury. So Keith, you sent in a video, but I'm assuming you'd like to read live because you are one of our rock stars.
Can you guys see the Keith Gaboury background?
Yeah, I see.
What's going to happen is I'm going to read an introduction, and then I'll spotlight the reader. So Bobby, can you turn off your camera? Do you have the ability to? Here, I can do it. And Carly, I'm going to turn off your video. And I'm going to turn off my video. Okay. So Keith Mark Gaboury earned an MFA in creative writing from Emerson College. His poems have appeared in such publications as Poetry Quarterly and New Millennium Writings, along with chapbooks through Duck Lake Books and the Pedestrian Press. Keith lives in Oakland, California, and apparently writes about it too.
Hello.
Okay.
All right. Hello. I'm going to talk about Hello, Universe Lovers, which brings pulp science fiction into contemporary poetry. Whether a poem looks back on the history of 20th century space travel, considers our present space within the universe, or projects a future on Earth, the Moon, and Mars, a reader is left with a new cosmic wonder. From the title poem onwards, these poems are an invitation to come on a journey of the past, present, and future, all linked by our one orbiting planet. Will you come on this journey? Let's begin. Wild. With your shotgun figure ready to inflict, your bark demands I step away from that double barrel power. once a Martian radio wave, encoded in impending invasion, Pastor Paul commanded us to uphold the faithful structure of violence. Are you ready to defend your wheat field, stain your crops with alien blood? Out in the barn, mother fed the chickens, as the wild donkey I called Beacon slammed her head into our locked gate. She saw her first human last Sunday. When the galactic foreigners step, crawl, slither off their light speed ship onto the prairie of my youth, will we kill up front or tame their brains, slapping neurological expansion into submission? I must watch your shotgun kickback, execute Beacon, who broke the lock and rammed her body through our kitchen window. And this is the second poem I'll read. Blood in the Cosmos. I got a sticker at the blood center for giving away 8 pints over a year. O positive, dispersed into alien veins. Yet can I call them aliens when my hemoglobins flows through consciousness of Homo sapient design? Free of highway stain along the town's farmland road, I look upon the cosmos like a body sliced open by my eye of precision, asking questions under constellations I praise. At home with a flickering bulb, I stick my sticker on the lampshade and play the golden record, once bolted onto Voyager, now beeping through interstellar space. Blind Willie Johnson sings here, is mute there, on his way to an alien heart. Thank you.
All right. Keith, you have 2 books coming out. Is this that was from Hello Universe Lovers?
Yeah, I also have a chapbook called Oakland, I'm Not Dead, which I believe the ISBN number is...
Karma, can you show... I think Karma can put her... Karma,
Yeah.
can you put the banner up again? Oh, wait. Okay, she's on the next one. Okay, thank you, Keith. I'm going to... Everybody unmute. Let's give him some snaps.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hey, good job, Keith. Thank you.
Wonderful. Great reading.
All right. Karma, we're ready for our next one.
Does that work for you when I'm muted?
Mute, because I'm reading about her already. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
I'm like saying, Karma, hide your head. Okay. Francine Thomas Howard, a proud product of the San Francisco Public Schools, has long been guided by twin loves. After receiving her BA degree at San Jose State, she embarked on a rewarding career as a pediatric occupational therapist. Her love of history and an overwhelming desire to write her family's oral stories led Ms. Howard to take early retirement after obtaining her MPA from the University of San Francisco, USF. Of her 4 traditionally published novels, 2 became Amazon bestsellers, The Duke of Union County and Page from a Tennessee Journal, which became the #1 download across all genres in the world in September of 2011. Her current novel, A Waltz in Tennessee, is the continuation of the Page saga. Ms. Howard continues to reside in the Bay Area with her family. And Francine is here today, but I've got a recording of her. Here we go.
That Jim Crow lady.
Everyone turn, wait, I gotta say, everybody turn up your mics. It's a little quiet.
That Jim Crow lady.
You know I meant everybody turn up your speakers. Okay. Third time's the charm.
That Jim Crow laid a heavy burden on African Americans is not a new story. This we know. But that European Americans also paid a price for America's original sin is not. In my fifth novel, A Waltz in Tennessee, two couples, one white, the other black, engage in a series of events, including a sexual liaison, that defies the laws, the customs, and the mores of their time and place. Rural Tennessee, 1930. But who wins and who loses under these circumstances is not who you think. Okay, I'll give you a clue. I'm going to do a reading from the novel. 16 years ago, white farmer Alexander McNaughton began a sexual liaison with the deserted wife of his black sharecropper. Her name's Anna Laura, and the two produced a child 16 years ago. It's now 1930, 16 years later, and Alex has just told his wife, Eula May Thornton, that he is going to move this child into Eula May's home. Eula May is not having it. It's the code of Southern silence that she is determined to break. This Sunday afternoon, we find Eula May at the home of her brother, Ben Roy Thornton. She's in the dining room. She's talking to her sister-in-law, Ben Roy's wife, Fedora. She and Fedora are having a discussion, heavy argument about the whys and the why nots of leaving your husband in Tennessee, 1930. This is Eula's story. Eula shook her head like a dutiful child receiving a proper scolding. You think I don't know the same pain you feeling? The muscles in Fedora's cheeks twitched. Alex just brought his outside brat to stay at your house for 4 days. And you think you're about to die cause of it. Eula May Thornton, the good Lord has smiled on you. Think how I felt when Ben Roy brought not one, but all 3 of his colored bastards over here, and their mama too. And it weren't for no 3 days neither. Tears splashed down Fedora's cheeks. 21 years, 4 months, and 13 days. I had to suffer me that wench sharing my husband's body, knowing he wanted her more than me. Eula got up from the table and started toward Fedora. I am so sorry. I never thought. Fedora held up a hand. Well, now is your thinking time, Eula May. I want to do just what you think you can do right now. Leave. Leave that cheating brother of yours, cause he done broke my heart. Fedora used the sleeve of her Sunday best to wipe away the wetness on her cheeks. But Eula May, I ain't had no place to go. Neither do you. Eula's brain whirred. Everybody knew divorce was a sin. Reverend Hawkins said so. There were no 2 ways about it. But she, Eula, was a Thornton. Oh, I can read your mind all right, Eula May. No, Betrayal ain't gonna let you come here. If he did, he'd be confessing to all of Loughnover that he was an even bigger sinner than Alex. Him and every other white man in Loughnover. Your brother and no other man in all Montgomery County ain't about to do that. You'd have stopped at the corner of the table. The door is still some 4 feet from her. But this is my home too. No, it ain't. Eula May, you is almost 60 years old. You can't get no... I'm sorry. Time is up. If you want more of Waltz in Tennessee, I am the author, Francine Thomas Howard, and I thank you.
All right, everyone. We can give Francine some applause.
Hey!
Thank you. Woo-hoo! Kristen, do we have to have the timer right in across the person's face?
You saw a timer?
Yes.
Yeah. It was going right across.
Oh, okay, okay. I know what you mean with the scrubber bar and the
Yes.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do
right
about
across
that.
where she was talking.
Thank you. I think I'll fix that. Karma, are you ready with the next one? Okay. Karma, unmute. Okay. Do you have one? Do you have one for Anne Harleman?
It's before we get to Anne, it's critical that I let everyone know
hello.
that
Wait a minute.
Francine's book is available in one of the auctions that we're running. It is in the book bundle, which we have titled Black Voices Matter. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen just so you guys can see. Let's see if you go to CWC / not CWC, but our website / event, which that link is in the chat. And then you go to the auction, then you'll see all our auctions listed. So I just want to highlight that one in particular,
Sure.
Black Voices Matter. And
Hold
then
on
when
one
you-
sec, Karma. I need to mute everyone. Okay. And now you can unmute yourself, Karma. Go ahead.
Yeah, got it. So, I might have went through that pretty quickly, but you can see here is it has several books from our authors that highlight characters of color and also authors of color. So just wanted to remind everyone that if you enjoyed that, or someone who you think might enjoy that book, say, Father's Day is tomorrow, for example, any holidays coming up, you can.
And we
check
can
that
deliver
out.
these books to your home for Father's Day. They're right here in my house.
Kristen's really good at being sneaky and dropping things off and not even spreading potential germs. So, having said all that, I will go ahead and stop share. You can always send me a chat if you don't have that link, and I will also put it in the chat momentarily. And now let us highlight
Anne Harleman. First, I want to just check. Diane Swan, are you there and you ready to read? Okay, so, okay, sorry about that. I'll just go ahead and read for you.
I can read.
No, okay. Okay, I'll read. No, I haven't sent you the thing, so I'll read.
Okay.
Anne Harleman was the first woman, hold on. Anne Harleman was the first woman to earn a PhD in linguistics from Princeton University, and she has lived and worked in Italy. Having taught for 2 decades at Rhode Island School of Design, she is now on the faculty of Brown University. She and her husband, Sam Earp, make their home within sight of San Francisco Bay. Anne Harleman's book is called Tell Me, Signora. I'm sorry we don't have a book cover of it right now, but I just wanted, it's available in our online in our bookstore, and it's the winner of the Elixir Press Fiction Award. Kate Haggisfield, grieving the death of her husband, travels to Italy just after 9/11 to restart her career as an archaeologist. Caught up in efforts to aid refugees from the Kosovo War, she must make the choice of a lifetime. Thank you. Congratulations, Anne Harleman, and check out her book online. Okay, next, Karma, can you give us the next slide?
Oh, Oh, no. I mean, I can, but I didn't realize. I thought she was gonna do a reading, so I didn't know that.
Okay, well, that's all
Who
right.
is it? Who's up?
Francine. Not Francine.
No.
JoAnn.
Yeah, give me a sec. You can start talking, but I'll.
Okay. Our next reader will be reading live. JoAnn Smith Ainsworth experienced food ration books, victory gardens, and blackout sirens as a child in World War II. These memories help her create vivid descriptions of time and place, which put you in the middle of a fast-paced and suspenseful journey through paranormal realms as U.S. psychics hunt down Nazi spies. Ms. Ainsworth lives in California. She has a BA and MAT degrees in English and has completed her MBA studies. To learn about this award-winning author and her Operation Delphi series, you can visit her website, JoAnnAinsworth.com. I'll put it in the chat. Hi, JoAnn.
Hi, Kristen.
Got your mic on?
Hi, everybody.
All right.
Mic, I did have my mic on.
Yep. And now I'm going to spotlight you, if I can. Why can't I spotlight you?
Will you be doing my video first, or I start right with the reading?
Go ahead, right with the reading. I just wanted everybody to know that she has a fantastic book trailer, and we've put it up on our Facebook page.
You've got her spotlighted, by the way. That's
good. All right, let's go.
All right.
Brava.
I'm JoAnn Smith Ainsworth. I'm author of 7 published novels as of April this year. Expect Trouble, the 3rd of my paranormal suspense series, was released in ebook, and just last week the paperback version was released. So glad to get through all of that. Expect Betrayal is book 3 of a paranormal suspense series wherein the U.S. government recruits psychics to find Nazi spies. In book 3, I took the head of the psychic group, the team of psychics that the U.S. government recruited. She's a clairvoyant, and she's also a U.S. wave. I took her, and I also took her superior officer, who was a naval commander, over to Great Britain. And in Great Britain, she is trying to find her cousin Etta, who has been evacuated during the Blitz in London, and no one knows where she is. However, Etta has with her the family grimoire, which is a book of spells and charms that have been put together over the centuries. She's his guardian. Hitler wants it. She must protect the book. So what we have is the American cousin, who also has the talent and skill to work with the book, looking for her cousin Etta at the same time that the Nazi, the spy, who has a remote viewing talent, so he's able to track people and track Etta and what the Americans are doing through remote viewing. I will be reading from the prologue. This is Etta, right when she learns that she has to escape from her cottage because Hitler's Nazis are coming, and she must protect this group, the book that her family has put together over the years. It takes place in Chester, England on June 7th in 1943. Despite the fogginess of deep sleep, Etta Schnell sensed the prick of energy probe. She struggled toward awareness as fear danced at the base of her neck and rippled down her spine. A magical nightmare, a foretelling, a warning. Swirling images coalesced in her mind's eye, bringing clarity. Something evil was stalking her and sought to rip the family grimoire from her caretaker hands. The Book of Cures is in danger. Because of decades of precognitive experiences, Etta intuitively recognized the probe's source, Hitler and his occult minions. The family grimoire contained hundreds of years of occult recipes for protections against malicious spells. The Nazis coveted the book. They would surely corrupt the grimoire to bolster their twisted ambitions for the Third Reich. For one ray of hope was that in the magical nightmare, the American flag also chased the grimoire. The book had been smuggled out of Bavaria and into Great Britain in the early 1800s when her gypsy ancestors suffered persecution in their homeland. Edda was its most recent guardian. She was almost the last of her maternal line possessing the occult skill to protect the book. Only one other, an American cousin, had inherited the talent. Rather than destroy centuries of knowledge to keep it out of Hitler's hands, she'd flee and safeguard the book until her young cousin could take it away to safety in the United States. Acute pain. For the second time, the energy probe seared her aura. Edda wiped the sleeve of her cotton nightgown across the clammy sweat erupting on her forehead. The probe was marking her whereabouts by leaving behind a traceable psychic scar and a faint odor of sulfur. She awakened fully with teeth on edge and goosebumps covering her body. She glanced anxiously at the clock, 4 a.m., the dark and powerful hour before dawn, when unseen spirits still walked and made final attempts to connect with human psyches before the sun rose and banished them. She had to escape. She had to protect the book. Edda flung back the covers and rose with as much urgency as her 65-year-old bones would allow. She began throwing on clothing that had been draped over a bedroom chair. She pulled out a green pattern bag constructed of good Brussels carpeting from under the bed, started tossing in clothes helter-skelter from dresser drawers. From the dark recesses of the mammoth oak armoire, she retrieved the book, her stash of emergency funds, and her late husband's service revolver with ammunition. These two went into the carpet bag. Valuables, toiletries, an extra pair of shoes, plus rain boots and a hat packed on top. She was carrying the bloated bag into the hallway. On her way out of the cottage, Edda grabbed her serviceable brown coat and paisley babushka from the mahogany coat rack. May God travel with me. This ends the reading.
All right, unmute everybody. Give JoAnn some applause. All right. I'm just going to do a really quick announcement that JoAnn's book.
I know we're not supposed to ask questions, but which one's the first one?
I'm going to explain that in just a
sorry.
second. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Here we go. Okay. Stop. So I'm doing a share. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the first book is called Expect Trouble in the Operation Delphi series. Correct, JoAnn? And the second book is called Expect Deception. And the third book is Expect Betrayal. And I just wanted to tell you that JoAnn's book Expect Deception is available in not one, but 2 of our bundles. This one is our suspense bundle. And let's see, this one is called our Unexpected Women bundle. So this one has my book, The Soles of Her Feet, and The Horizontal Poet by Jan Steckel. And this one has The Advent of Elizabeth by Tim Jollymore and Nano Uncertainty by Gary Durbin. So please go ahead and bid on these auction items if you like. And also I wanted to say we've already got some bidding going on our Black Voices Matter bundle. So congratulations. Thank you, JoAnn. Karma, do we have our next screen?
We do.
Oh, wait. Hold on a sec. Cue my, here we go. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, what's that? Is there someone at the door? Do we have a door prize? Sandy, reveal yourself.
Yes. Okay, here we go. We have the first door prize is, oh, why do I keep, okay, there we go. The first door prize is a copy of Expect Trouble, and I'm going to be pulling names out of this hat. This is my brain hat from the Science Walk a few years ago, the Science March. So if you would like the door prize for a copy of Expect Trouble, please write, send me a chat in the chat box.
Just say expect trouble, and she'll see your name.
And I'll see your name, and I will put your name in this hat.
So
I'll take it off my head first.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, Karma, are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right, so show your video. So we've got about 6 people who are raffling, and you'll be able to put your name in, and at the end we'll it's not a raffle, it's a giveaway. Okay. So speaking of thrillers, okay, we also didn't get our images for Beth, but I'm very excited to announce our next speaker. Bio. Beth Barany. Fanfare music as I shuffle my papers. You're hearing somewhere? Okay. I warned you about the brain loss. Here we go. An award-winning novelist, Beth Barany writes science fiction and fantasy for young adults and adults. Her first novel, Henrietta the Dragon Slayer, won grand prize in a California indie author contest. Based in Oakland, California, with her husband, Ezra Barany, also a novelist, Beth has lived abroad 3 times, Quebec, and twice in Paris, France, and speaks fluent French. Known for creating rich worlds, tough and kick-ass heroines, and refreshing romances, Beth creates cinematic stories to empower readers to be the heroes of their own lives. When she's not penning rip-roaring reads, Beth runs an online school for fiction writers, speaks at conferences and international cultural centers, most recently in Saudi Arabia, and enjoys her many dragon figurines sprinkled throughout her house. I also wanted to say Beth does really wonderful plan your novel courses for NaNoWriMo, and if you take the class, look for it on our website, and there's a link. She's actually donates a portion of her funds from a portion of her proceeds from all of her classes through our link back to the club. So welcome, Beth, and
thank you.
There you are. Spotlight you. Wait, one more thing. For freebies, excerpts, and more about her books, go to Beth's site, author.bethbarany.com. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm
Thank
having
you so
trouble
much, Kristen.
spotlighting your video. There. Just go ahead and talk. I'll hide me.
All right. Cool. Hey, everyone. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'm in the spotlight, but I'll let you guys, the hosts, work that out.
You're the only one showing, so go.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. So today I am featuring my latest novel, Into the Black, which is book 1 in the Janie McAllister mystery series. It just came out end of May. It's available in ebook and everywhere, and in print on Amazon. So today I'm going to read an excerpt from the book. And before I do that, I will read the book description so you get an idea of what we're up to. She wanted to make her mark. How hard could it be? In 2130 at Bijou de l'Étoile, a high-end casino orbiting Earth, you can get anything you desire. Newly hired as an investigator, Janie McAllister wants to solve her first big case, the theft of a priceless gem. When her case of theft escalates to murder and points to the seedy underbelly of world affairs, Janie has to rely on her new team and trust the mysterious insurance investigator Orlando Valdez before the killer escapes into the black. So that's the book blurb. And now I will read my excerpt. Maybe you guys can mute all the background noise. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Linda. And I also see Hugh, one of my students. Shout outs to you guys. All right.
Beth, hold
here's
on
my
a second.
excerpt.
I'm mute everyone. So I'm going to mute you for just a second. Now I got to find Beth. I hit it twice. There you go.
Great. Thanks, Karma. All right, go. I have 5 minutes, right, you guys? I timed this. Should work. Her implant flagged a quick movement in the crowd. Out of place, a shadow shifted. She clicked on her video. She'd get irrefutable evidence this time. Hope and determination fluttered in her chest. A short, gray-haired man wove his way through the crowd, shoulders hunched, barely jostling people. Her implant flashed an ID, Mortimer Zhang. His hotel records showed he'd arrived via space jet a week ago, and he had a room in the mid-price level. No others in his party. He was leaving on the next transport Earthside in a few hours. Pei Zhang Enterprises. 1 minute left. He looked innocent enough, except for how one corner of his mouth quirked up in a faint smirk, even though his gaze was downcast. His arms seemed pasted to the side of his body, and he took tiny steps as if to make himself smaller. Classic moves of a thief. Suspicious, though not evidence. Her vid was recording, but all the other thefts had happened under the casino cameras and had not been detected. She'd always trusted her intuition and her ability to read body cues before. But since she'd come to the station, she'd gotten it wrong twice. Should she wait for another sign that Zhang was guilty? No. Her gut told her he was up to something. She trusted that. If she waited for the pickpocket to strike tonight, they could be here all night and still come up empty. She had to act now. Got a possible, Janie said to her team. Shahan, guard the exit. Lane, converge on my position. Ku, take our 6. But if her instincts were wrong again, she'd be looking for a new job tomorrow. The team acknowledged. In her sturdy, strappy high heels, Janie glided down the stairs, wove around the poker, blackjack, and pagao tables, and slipped through the crowd. Head down, the salt and pepper-haired old man glanced sideways, not seeing Janie until she was right in front of him, blocking his path. Maybe he wasn't the thief she was hunting. Maybe he was. Either way, he was hiding something. Time to find out. She bent down and spoke loudly into his ear. "Excuse me, sir. I need you to come with me." She caught a whiff of a faint perfume that reminded her of someone. His gaze snapped to her and he jolted back a step, but not before Janie noticed a slight skin color difference where his gray-white sideburns met his ears. She zoomed in with her ocular implant. His aged, pale skin was mottled at the edges and clashed with his darker scalp and microscopic black hair follicles. A disguise. It was a very good prosthetic job, but most people couldn't see what she could. She spoke again, with more force this time. "Come with me, don't make a fuss." He squinted up at her as if confused and spoke, his voice warbled with age. "I don't know you, do I, young lady?" He sounded innocent and confused. Befuddled, her mother would say. But his rapid breathing, sped up heart rate, and pupil dilation revealed something else. Fear, perhaps, or shock. It was virtually impossible to hide the body's reactions to these emotions as they were part of the primal fight, flight, freeze responses. And he smelled odd. She still couldn't put her finger on where she'd smelled it before. There was a definite mismatch between this bent old man and the lingering, sweet, fruity perfume, feminine perfume. Then she remembered it was the same perfume, a rare and expensive blend of pepper, ylang-ylang, vanilla, and orange accents that had been worn by a woman she'd had in holding last week, long enough to get a good whiff and have the perfume analyzed by the in-room sensors. "I do believe you know me," Gini said with force. The craps table. You are dressed as a woman from New Hong Kong by way of Moscow Prime, Stephanie Lee. If that's even your real name. I banned you from the casino for card counting. Come on, let's go. Who? I'm Mortimer Zhang, financier. He frowned up at her. His voice shook with confusion, but his eyes narrowed for a fraction of a second, as if calculating odds of escape. Janie's ocular implant caught it. You're talking nonsense, he said. I'm not. Janie took his upper arm, but he jerked free, glared at her, and stepped back. The back of her hand brushed against his jacket and something hard under the fine black silk. That was probable cause for a search. People carried all they needed in their identity bracelets or necklaces. No one carried items in their pockets anymore. Stop, Jeannie glared. She scanned for his identity bracelet, but didn't see it peeking out from his jacket cuffs. Lane slipped in behind Zhang, blocking that escape route. Zhang glanced over her shoulder, gulped. Got your 6, Ku said from behind her. Nowhere to go, Janie motioned ahead, except with us. End of reading.
All right, let's give Beth some applause.
Thanks, everyone. That was fun.
All right. All right, who's next? Oh, wait. We have a ding dong. Beth, let's see. My cue, Sandy, do we have a raffle?
We do. Hold on, let me get my hat.
Wait, I'll make the doorbell sound.
There we go. Okay. If everyone who would like a copy of that fabulous new book would please put the words into the black in the chat. I'm sorry for the background noise here. Put into the black into the chat, and I will put your name into this hat.
Good luck, everyone. Beth out.
Hey, dragons. Karma, you there? You got a slide for me?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so the next one's me, but I feel silly reading my own introduction, and also we're a little bit behind on time, so I'm just going to let myself read. I'm already recorded, and you guys can find me on my website, KristenCaven.com, or thesoulsofherfeet.com. And I hope you check out my new book trailer. I put it up on our Facebook page. I'm super proud of it. And here we go.
I
should be able to make that go away.
Chapter 6, The Toss of a Coin. We got to the high school at about 10:30 and cruised around the parking lot for a space. Terry pursed his lips as we passed by an occupied car with steamed-up windows. He peered through his eyelashes and stroked his chin, smiling and frowning in quick succession, and then glanced over at me. What? I asked. Nothing, he said, shaking his head. You look marvelous. He licked his finger and patted down a lock of my hair. He pulled up in front of a crowd of kids that were hanging out in front of the gymnasium doors to catch some air. He frowned again, muttering disapprovingly about their cigarettes, and then smiled and said, Madam, you've arrived. I opened the door and gathered the folds of my dress around my legs, being careful where I stepped with the magical shoes. I turned to Harry, unsure of myself for a moment, and he gave me a cool look, sucked at his cheeks and heard, knock 'em dead, kid. I walked carefully, finding my stride through the group of smokers which had fallen silent, then through an archway made of pink and yellow and white balloons. The gymnasium had been transformed by the prom committee, and I turned all around to stare and appreciate their vision and hard work. Round tables draped with gold lame were scattered with balloons, curling ribbons, and candy. Golden stars moved across the high ceiling, projected rays of light cut through wisps of fog. Giant painted windows hung from the ceiling, showing painted scenes of some faraway land in the sunset. Gauzy curtains wafted around them, stirred by secret breezes from hidden fans. Clusters of students gathered around clusters of giant potted palms, talking and laughing, sipping peach-tinted soda from sparkling plastic cups, their faces sparkling pink and gold, thrown from disco balls hung at various levels around the room. A huge banner, not the printed vinyl kind, but hand-sewn decades ago on yards and yards of draped satin, hung from wall to wall across the bandstand, proclaiming again its profound wish for every new generation in scrolling velvet letters, happily ever after. I stood in the middle of the room under the star-sprinkled ceiling, taking it all in, savoring the moment, and feeling lit up by my that sounded fun. Lit up by my success in getting there.
I will take my applause now. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. What's that?
Why, it's yet another book raffle. And where is my hat for Kristen? If you want to get a copy of Kristen's book, put Soles of Her Feet in the chat right now. Soles of Her Feet. And this is Kristen's hat.
I got my own hat. That's so cool.
Everybody's got their own hat.
It's a fairy tale. The alligator prince. All right, Karma. What's next? So my novel is YA, The Soles of Her Feet, and we have a couple interesting categories of fiction coming up here with our new readers. One of which is I think somebody really actually needs to create a genre called OA or EA for the coming of life stories, the coming of age stories that happen after 40 or 50. So. I would like to quickly draw everyone's attention. I can't spotlight that video. Okay. To, let's see. Peggy Dougherty. She's an award-winning playwright whose work has had more than 35 productions. Her plays have been performed in New York City, San Diego, Los Angeles, Boca Raton, Houston, San Francisco, Chicago, Toronto, and elsewhere. Okay, Karma, I can't seem to spotlight you. Can you help? Okay, I'll keep reading. So, Peggy Dougherty is a member of the Dramatists Guilds of America Incorporated, the Alliance of Los Angeles Playwrights, and Script Teasers, a script development group in San Diego. Peggy's debut novel, Age Matters, is a satiric tale about a writer in Los Angeles who has to combat Hollywood ageism in order to sell her screenplay and avert financial disaster. Highly recommended by me. You can get it in the auction. I really enjoyed this novel. Okay, we're ready for the next screen, Karma. And I'll just tell you what happens in Age Matters. A screenwriter wins a contest and has to meet with an agent, but she hires her daughter to stand in with her because Hollywood is really ageist. And so her daughter plays her in the meetings, and madcap adventures ensue. Next one, Karma. Lily.
Oh. What's Lily's book called?
Freefall.
Okay, just.
Hi, Lily.
There.
Welcome. Oh, you've got, okay, she's just got her own great background. We can skip ours. Karma.
Okay.
Okay, cancel the spotlight. There we go. Okay, I'll just read your bio here real quick. Okay. Born and raised in Canada, Lily Iona MacKenzie was a high school dropout who has since earned 2 master's degrees. She has published reviews, interviews, short fiction, poetry, travel pieces, and essays in over 165 American and Canadian venues. All This, a poetry collection, was published in 2011.
This is what Pat's going to be on.
Her novel Fling was released in
Do you want me to?
in July 2015.
No. You want me to move it over there?
On it.
Thank you. Curva Peligrosa, another novel, was brought out in 2017. A third novel, Freefall, a divine comedy, was published on January 1st, 2019. So she just barely made the cutoff for this book launch. She teaches creative writing at the University of San Francisco's Fromm Institute for Lifelong Learning and blogs about writing and reading at lilyionamackenzie.com. Welcome, Lily.
Thank you.
And
figure out which way to lean so that my back.
Lean in all the ways. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
So I want to thank, first of all of you who helped to prepare this event. It was extraordinary, all of the effort that went into this. So thank you. And of course, thanks to Kristen for her many years of service to this club. And thanks to all of you who are participating today. It's been exciting to hear all these different voices. So Freefall, sort of in the middle of a time when we're all in freefall. And it actually, the novel, I think, zeroes in on a fundamental truth, and that is that we're all in freefall, and that is real divine comedy. It might not feel like an actual comedy while we're in it, but no matter how old we are, we're still trying to find ourselves and discover what we want out of life. And that's what the 4 characters in this novel attempt to do, although they don't know when the book starts out that that's what they're going to be doing. But it starts with these 4 characters, Tilly Bloom being the featured character. It starts out with them having a reunion, first in Whistler, British Columbia in Canada. And then that leads, from Tilly's manipulations, that leads to them extending their reunion to 3 weeks in Venice, where they'll all celebrate their 60th birthdays. So Tilly has ulterior motives in going to Venice because she wants to crash the Biennale. She's an installation artist, and she feels that she still has a chance to make her mark on the world. And so she does some interesting things in Venice, aside from what happens during the reunion with her 3 former women friends that do help her to make her mark, so to speak. In this scene that I'm going to read you, she's just arriving in Venice. She's flown in on her own, and she's going to be meeting up with the women. And so exhausted from traveling for 24 hours, Tilly drags her suitcase to a nearby dock and waits for the Vaporetto. In the dark, the Italian signs are unreadable, and she wonders if she's in the right boarding area. Lighted boats glide back and forth on the canal, leaving gentle ripples in the impenetrable waters. A grizzled old man wearing a seaman's sweater and carrying a plastic bag shuffles towards a spigot at the other end of the dock. Then he approaches her, speaking Italian, poking the middle finger of one hand into the circle he makes between the thumb and index finger of the other one. She backs away, dragging her suitcase, her rucksack Zack weighing her down. He follows, yelling and tugging at his zipper. She can't believe this is happening in her favorite city. A dirty old man wanting to show her his shriveled bud. She trips on a loose board, catching herself before she pitches forward into the canal, picturing the headlines. Unknown artist washes ashore at the Lido and makes a splash. Furious, Tilly whirls and almost falls into the old man's arms. He smells like rotting fish. She calls him a perverted old fart who should be ashamed of preying on female tourists. Retreating, raising his hands as if in apology, he gets the message. A crowd is waiting on an adjacent dock and a water bus pulls up. She runs, lugging her bags, just making it before the boat pulls away and collapses onto a bench. She asks the woman sitting next to her if this vaporetto will reach the sandstay stop. The woman nods. So that's all I'm going to read today, but I hope it's given you a little taste for this novel and for the events that happen. And I just want to mention that A Young Tilly, another novel that will feature Tilly in her youth, will be appearing in the fall of 2021, also published by Pinnell Publishing. And I do hope you'll visit me at my blog, lilyionamackenzie.com. I love visitors. Freefall.
I loved Freefall. It was one of the 2 or 3 books by our own authors that I read during shelter in place, and it was really wonderful to travel across the world and through time. So thank you, Lily. Everybody unmute, and let's give her a round of applause.
Yay!
What was that? I heard a doorbell.
Me too.
What could that mean?
It could mean that I have another hat in which to put names for Lily's book, Freefall. Anybody who wants Lily's book, write the title, Freefall, in the chat, and I will put your name in this hat.
Yay, thank you. All right, so the next, we're almost done with our fiction, but I feel like we need to have a whole new category of fiction in this club because there's so many people who write their stories with important information to share with the world, to change the world, but they fictionalize it. So I call these books, I call this new genre, actually I didn't name this, this is Linda Barry's word, for autobiofictionalography. So our next 3 authors fall into this category of fiction. And the first person I want to highlight, he's not appearing, but I definitely want to recognize Tim Jollymore. He has won 6 distinguished publishing awards among his 5 books. He writes in Oakland, California. Tim has been a really great club leader in creating our presence at book events like the Bay Area Book Festival, the San Francisco Writers Conference, the Oakland Book Festival when it existed, and coordinating a booth where we can all get our books out to be, to show up on the literary radar. So Tim's books are in not 1, not 2, but 3 of our auction bundles. People you've been before. I don't have a description of it right now, but this is his book that just came out. And if I were more organized, I would read it. Actually, does anybody have the email I sent? I was going to have someone read it. I will just read the book blurb.
Oh, I thought I was reading.
Oh, Christina, it's you. Yeah. Okay, Christina, would you like to read the book blurb? I'll just keep his picture up. You can keep your video off.
Sure.
Okay.
People You've Been Before with Tim Jollymore. When a novelist tells the story of an author writing another man's tale, whose story is it? People You've Been Before is a fierce and shattering portrait of a couple's 40-year relationship from marriage through divorce and its aftermath. Tim Jollymore's ambitious book is a day in a life, or better, a life in one day, of novelist Els Matilla, who has just completed a new work of fiction. Yet his visiting ex-wife charges that he's simply written a memoir which painfully exposes the addiction, abuse, and betrayals of their relationship. Their galvanizing encounter starts in Elsa's Manhattan apartment as the couple grapples with their complex and tragic history. A journey from Minnesota to Oakland and Hollywood, into a recovery program, and on to New York City. Yet at every turn, the reader must decide who is telling the truth. Wonderfully written and full of profound observations about life, the purpose of fiction, and the power of redemption, People You've Been Before is a beautiful and haunting novel. A story full of insight to the social feeling, antisocial behaviors, and internal torments of the alcoholic life, told with humor, irony, and depth of feeling, not to be overlooked.
Ta-da! So, People You've Been Before is in our auction in a bundle we're calling the Writers Writing Writers bundle. All three of these novels, two of them are by Dirk Wales, the Fall and Rise of Landon Harris, and The Last Chapter is Missing, feature writers as the protagonists in their own story. And he's also in our, wait, there's one more. He's also in the suspense bundle with The Advent of Elizabeth. And he is also in our short stories bundle that features a collection of stories by Dirk Wales. Oh, wow, look at that. I'm zooming in and out. Back to Oakland by Penn Hughes. Lake Stories and Other Tales by Tim Jollymore. And Squirrels in the Wall by our next reader. Karma, do we have a slide for Henry?
I had it ready to go. It was muted.
Okay.
It's up. Oh, I see my video's off. Yeah, it's all ready.
There we go. Okay. Henry Hitz taught preschool for 30 years. Wait, I want Henry to be showing here. Henry Hitz taught preschool for 30 years. He divides his time between Oakland, California, where he lives with his wife, son, 2 sisters, 2 dogs, and a cat, and San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, where he first observed how the boat-tailed grackles and local teenagers all gather at the Central Jardin at sunset for precisely the same reason. That's so Henry. He has published stories in Cube Literary Magazine, Magnolia Review, Scarlet Leaf Review, and Moonfish. His first novel, Tales of Monkey Man, won the Walter Van Tilburg Clark Prize. His novel, White Night, was published in January 2016 by Wordrunner Press and reissued last year for the 40th anniversary of the Jonestown Massacre. Squirrels in the Wall was recommended for readers who like David Sedaris in Parade Magazine. I also read, this was another one of my shelter-in-place books, and I absolutely loved it. It blew my mind in many ways. Henry blogs at henryhitz.com. Henry is here, but I've got a recording. Henry, do you want to just turn on your mic and say hi while I dial up your recording? I mean, turn on your mic and your camera.
And my video.
Yeah.
Yes, let's see. Yes, here I am. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Henry.
What else should I say?
You don't have to say anything.
Happy Juneteenth. Happy spring. I mean,
okay,
summer,
that's
whatever. Summer. It's 2:44 this afternoon. A few minutes ago, the sun hit the tropics of Cancer.
Oh my gosh! Happy spring, everybody! Woohoo!
Summer.
Summer! Oh my God! It's summer
already.
Where did the spring go? It's time to go outside for a minute. Also. Behind Henry is not a virtual background, but an actual poster, a banner of his book. We all learn marketing techniques from each other, and that's a pretty cool one, as well as his swag. Okay, so.
I also, can I say one other thing that if you like the story, if you go to my blog at henry.com and leave your snail mail address and a commitment to read the book and put a review on Amazon, I will send you a free
Woo! So no need for a raffle here. He'll send you a free hardback or copy.
Copy. Paperback.
Ebook. Paperback. Oh my God, you guys, this is great. So you can get it in the auction bundle. You can buy it on the bookshop, or you can get a free copy, a free review copy for Henry. Again, great thing for all of us authors to learn. That's a great technique. Thank you. And I also want to thank Henry for, I think, 4 or 5 years of being our treasurer. You've helped keep the club sailing on, and don't go to Mexico just yet. I hear there's virus there. But when you go, we'll all come visit. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share the screen. And here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is the book. It's called Squirrels in the Wall. Novel in stories. It consists of 20 stories. All of them take place in a habitat where I grew up, by a lake in rural Wisconsin. And they're told from the point of view of different animals, including humans. And there's a human narrative arc that runs through the stories. I'm going to read from chapter 9, Thought It Was a Goner. One day, I run up on my stubby dachshund legs and wag my tail to greet my human, coming from that mystery place they call school. On his bike, I smell right away and soon see he's got a perfectly horrible, scraggly striped cat stuffed in the front of his jacket. At first, I think, maybe he'll just wants to torture it or something like that. Yeah, it might be fun. He's always doing things like that, pulling the legs off spiders and such. But when I see how he is with his cat, I'm foaming with rage. What does he need with a cat? He's got me. He takes the cat up to the old shack at the top of the hill in the woods behind the house, his hideout. He talks to it in a way that he never talks to me. This is your new home, Pussy. That's a good name for you, you sweet thing. Sorry I can't let you stay in the big house, but Father's allergic to cats. He sits down with her in a moldy-smelling, overstuffed chair with the stuffing coming out and strokes her for what seems like hours. The cat purrs while I lie down at his feet and whimper. He pays me no mind at all. He's forgotten I exist. The smell of the cat, sharp and pissy, is making me sick. I'm getting madder and madder. My whimpers turn to growls. I rub up against his leg to get his attention. The cat sees me and raises its hackles. Easy, you two, says. Herziger, I think you're jealous. I don't care what he thinks I am. I snap at the cat. The cat springs off his lap and lands right in front of me on the floor. It puffs itself up and glares at me straight in the face with its pale, beady eyes. I jump at the cat's neck. The cat scratches my snout. I smell my own blood. Shouts, stop it, and sweeps the cat up in the air. He stuffs the cat under his arm and with the other hand comes down hard, crack, across my back. He's never hit me before. I squeal and draw back. I don't know what I'm going to do. Since they put Mama to sleep, has been my only companion. I was growing rather fond of him, but this is the low blow. I begin to dream of that cat in various states of death, in my mouth with its neck broken, flung from the roof by himself, drowned in the lake. Thank you.
All right, well, you don't really want to applaud after that, but let's applaud. Thank you, Henry.
That's awesome, Henry.
We got music.
Yeah.
Wait, where's that music coming from? Oh, it's YouTube. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Karma, we got our next slide. Bye, Henry. Okay. This could just be a really quick one. We can skip the slide because I see John's right here, and he's got the shortest bio of everyone. Oh, there it is. Okay. Dun dun dun. So this is a lesson in graphic sizes. Just a word to all authors to create yourself a media kit that has a headshot in all different sizes, because you never know what someone's going to use it for. And when we found your headshot on the web, all we could find is this tiny little GIF. But this really wonderful big book cover, When I Killed My Father. John Byrne is a writer, designer, actor, bike tour leader, and crossing guard. John, take it away.
So there are two elderly couples taking a walk. The two women are in the front, the two men are several yards behind. And one man says to the other, I had the most delicious grilled fish the other day at this restaurant, and just sublime. And the other guy says, well, sounds great. What's the name of the restaurant? And the first guy goes, having a senior moment here. Help me out. You know that flower with the thorns? And the other guy says, yeah, Rose? Yeah, Rose. Rose! What was the name of that restaurant we went to the other day? Now, I tell that story because it's in my book, When I Killed My Father, an assisted suicide family thriller, my third novel. And this is a book that deals with some heavy subjects like assisted suicide, like family conflict, death, grief. And I wanted to assure potential readers that it's not morbid or heavy. And in fact, that it's entertaining. I call it a page turner with a conscience. And it's even funny at times. So let me tell you what the story is. The protagonist is a man named Lamar Rose, and he's a psychologist, and his father has cancer and dementia. And in one of his more lucid moments, he says to his son, I want you to help me end my life. I want you to kill me. And Lamar refuses, but his father keeps asking, and eventually Lamar relents and does the deed. And then at his father's funeral, from the pulpit in the front of the church, Lamar's sister accuses him of murder. That's the basic story. Lamar believes in honesty, believes in telling the truth, but he has to lie over and over again. So that's the summary of the book. And I do want to say, even though Kristen put me into this category of auto-fiction, whatever, what was it? I can't remember what it was. But this is not
Autobiofictionalography.
Autobiofictionalography. This is not autobiographical. It is fiction. It is inspired by my family's experience with my mom, who lived to be 95. She died about a year and a half ago, and she had dementia for the last 10 years of her life. But there was never any instance where she said, hey, help me get out of here. My siblings and I never had a conversation about, let's see if we can get rid of her. But during that period of time, that's when I came up with the idea of, well, what if that had happened? Actually, our communication was really pretty good, and there wasn't a lot of conflict. It would have made for a boring book, but in my book, there's a lot of conflict. This is my third novel. My first one is called Bones in the Wash, Politics is Tough, Family is Tougher, and it's set during the 2008 presidential campaign in New Mexico. So if you're looking for an antidote to the current presidential campaign, you might enjoy this. The second book, which I couldn't find a copy of, is called Wasted, and it's a green noir mystery set in the recycling world in Berkeley, California. And you may enjoy the depiction of Berkeley. And one of my favorite stories about this is one of my friends said I was destined to write this book because there are 4 ways of disposing of waste: compost, recycle, burn, and bury. And there's my name, Burn, Bury, 2 of those 4 ways. And I gave a presentation once, and someone raised their hand and said, actually, John is also a common way of flushing away waste. So I have all 3. My parents named me and destined me to write this book. I also realized afterwards that When I Killed My Father is appropriate as well, because there are 2 main ways of disposing of human bodies after they die, which is burn and bury. So you can find out more at johnburnberry.com. I'm going to close with one more story that's from the book. There's an old Chinese farmer who's too weak to work in the fields anymore. So he spends his days sitting on the porch, watching his children and grandchildren work the farm. One day, his eldest son comes up to the porch dragging a wooden box. And he says, Father, we have too many mouths to feed. Get in the box. The father obediently climbs in the box. The son puts the lid on the box and starts carrying the box toward the cliff at the edge of the farm. And as he gets close to the cliff, he hears a knock. It's his father knocking from inside the box. So the son lifts the lid off. The father sits up and says, "Son, I understand what you're doing and why, but I have a suggestion. Why don't you just lift me out of the box and throw me over the cliff? That way, the box will be there for you when your children need it."
Okay, unmute and applause.
Very funny.
Yeah.
It's not autobiographical. I was 2,000 miles away when my mom died.
Okay. Thank you so much for translating that difficult experience that so many of us face into a charming and chewy, palatable way to absorb it and process it.
Add one thing, Kristen?
Yeah, go ahead.
As with Henry, if there's anybody would like me to send them a copy, if they promise to write a review, put that in the chat. Thank you.
Okay. I was just putting that in the chat. Okay. Okay, well, congratulations, everyone. We're done with our fiction authors. Let's all, turn on our videos on for a second and check in. Pop it on gallery view, and we can see who's here. I think we've had more people join us. If everyone wants to stand up and take a little stretch. You've probably been doing that with the microphone off for a while. I'm going to do it way back here so you can see my cute shoes. I'm switching from stripes to polka dots. Okay, we're ready for a poetry interlude. Karma, you ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, bye everybody. You can hide your videos again. Okay.
Didn't start over because I muted everybody and that included you.
Oh, okay. Described by his inner circle as the poet laureate of the absurd, Randall McNair spent the better part of a decade drinking himself silly at the Swinging Door Saloon in Tustin, California. While there, he was inspired to put pen to paper by a combination of Charles Bukowski, Billy Collins, Sharon Olds, and the muse at large. His poetry CV includes a BA in English, creative writing from CSU Long Beach in 2002, the 2002 Key West Literary Seminars Advanced Poetry Workshop with Sharon Olds, the 2009 Key West Literary Seminars Advanced Poetry Workshop with Billy Collins, and the 2019 Southampton's Writers Conference 10-Day Advanced Poetry Workshop, also with Billy Collins. McNair's work has been published in both American and Canadian literary journals. He lives in Alameda, California with his wife and young son. Okay. Randy, unmute thyself and read to us.
All right, thank you, Kristen. This is my debut collection of poems called Dispatches from the Swinging Door Saloon. And I thought I'd read you a couple poems from the On Writing section and a couple from On Drinking. And if we have time, I'll read you one from On Living. This first one's called A Quick Note About Hope. I don't write with hope. I do it with pen and paper and a tired open mind. People suggest adding some hope to my poems so the reader can leave with something. I say let the reader leave empty-handed. It's the only way I can be sure I've conveyed myself truthfully. And this next one is called Hope 1. Hope rises. Hope is beat down. Hope rises again. Hope is steamrolled. Hope rises again. Hope is stabbed in the gut. Hope whimpers a small yelp. Hope is taken by the neck and throttled. Hope dies a lonely bachelor, his scant possessions donated to the truly desperate. This next one is also from the On Writing section. It's called Writer's Block. I sit in my study taking stock. The books, the gathering of dust, the slant of bookshelf, the jigger of whiskey beneath the brass lamp. It all fits, even I fit, and this computer, and the ballads playing overhead by Springsteen and Bad Company and the Young Dubliners. Everything is as it should be. But the computer screen is blank, and my mind, and all across the room there is no hope, no gleaming white saint sitting in a chair nodding his affirmation. There is just a room full of dusty books I did not write, a bookshelf that will need repair, and a jigger of whiskey, which, like the others before it, promises nothing. This next one is called A Wet Dog. The AA meeting lets out early, and the non-drunk former drunks file down the steps, discussing the God force and redemption. I try to avoid them. They are swell people, don't get me wrong, but sometimes a wet dog just wants to be a wet dog without being reminded that he is a wet dog. This one is called I Apologize. The hummingbird fluttering into my peripheral vision was really just a napkin caught in the roses, which reminds me of the haiku I once wrote. The raisin I watched tumble into my oatmeal was really a fly. Also, I am very drunk, and I apologize for wasting your time with these pointless musings. And this one is called You Can't Dance. You want the brunette so badly that when she calls you out to the dance floor, you spring to your two left feet and head out to join her. And she can dance and you cannot, so you feel foolish, but it's 1 a.m. and you are dancing with the brunette. So maybe you can dance, you think. Or better, maybe you can't and she doesn't care. Let's see. This one's called Lazy Poems. Not every poem comes bounding out, a first grader at the recess bell. Some prefer to mold themselves into the soft suede recliner, remote wedged into one palm, a beer warming in the other. If they move at all, it's for the short trip to the fridge, that sandwich parts factory and keeper of the ales. On rare occasions, a lone poem will drag himself upstairs, dropping crumbs and spilling beer. He'll take one look at me behind my computer and frown, like a child grounded in the middle of baseball season. He'll plop down in the beanbag at the foot of my desk, eating his meal off his lap, pouting but present. We'll sit there together for hours, struggling for words, a couple of sullen teens, poem and poet alike, hunched and moping. That's all I had. Thank you very much for listening. And if you want to buy this book, you can find it on my website, McNairPoet.com. And if you enter the code CWC20, you'll get 20% off your entire order until next Saturday. Again, thank you.
Woo! 2020, 2020.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
I believe it's also available in the bookshop list, which we didn't.
Yep.
Okay, next. Karma, are you ready? Thank you, Randy.
We need to applaud for Randy.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Unmute and applause.
Thank you.
Okay. I had an applause mark after both poets, but everybody deserves their own applause. Okay, next one up is...
Judith Offer.
I know. There we go. Just got to spotlight her. Okay. Judith Offer has had 2 daughters, 6 books of poetry, and dozens of plays. 18 of the latter, including 6 musicals, have been produced. That's awesome. She has read her poetry at scores of poetry venues, but is particularly delighted to have been included in the Library of Congress series on All Things Considered on NPR. Her most recent book of poetry, called The Grating of America, is a collection of poems about the dysfunction and destruction of the current U.S. administration, as well as some of the successes of patriots in maintaining our democracy. It includes 22 poems and 8 editorial cartoons by Washington Post cartoonist Nick Anderson. More information is available at judithoffer.com. All right. Take it away, Judith.
Hi, everybody. I'm a little overwhelmed by all this really good writing. I don't know if I really belong in this room, but anyway, I'm going to charge on forward. Am I on the big screen, Kristen?
Yes, we can all see you on the
Okay,
big
because I
screen.
can only see a little. Oh, there
How
I
about
am.
that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to do today was to show a little bit of my book, The Grating of America. And it's all about the various people in the so I want to read, I'm going to start by reading one of the poems. It's called Wall or Nothing at All. And I refer in it to DWD, which is the initials of Demagogue Wannabe Drumpf. And Drumpf is our current president, who I don't care to use his real name.
The resident.
So, wall or nothing at all. Demagogue Wannabe Drumpf is building a wall. He says he's putting it on our southern border, but the wall refuses to go south. Instead, as much as DWD swears and pounds tables, his concrete disconnector is snaking its way through our amber plains and across our purple mountains. On one side gather the wee besters, proud of their white skin, their white culture, their guns, and their well-behaved blue-veined women. On the other side are the people proud of their humanity, their wild variety, their roots, their hard work, and of each other. Atop his monument to discord and distortion, the great distractor sits with his TV and his tweets, his pale progeny, and his congressional protectors, tossing off sacks of poisonous lies, broken agreements, gratuitous insults, and occasionally paper towels. He demands concrete and more concrete from his Congress, his federal employees, his loyal citizens, all his, everything his. Even those sitting in the ashes of burnt homes, in the stripped landscape of a tornado or a flood, or those who never voted for him, nor ever would. Wall or nothing at all, screeches DWD, wall or nothing at all. And right next to this is one of Nick Anderson's cartoons. I don't know if you can see it. You can see there's Drumpf's wall there, and there's a tree stump where Drumpf has cut down the 3 branches of government to build his wall. And Nick Anderson's primary cartoon are primarily in the Washington Post, but he's also syndicated around the country. So that's the kind of thing that's in my book, my little chapbook. I have over here some of my other books that are actual perfect branding and small press books. But this one I did myself. I published it, I printed it, and I'm selling it. It's available at Walden Pond. You can get it by calling them and they'll have it out there in front for you, or they'll send it to you. And also it was at several small bookstores, but I don't know how many of them are open. Also, I'm also willing to give anyone who wants a free copy if you want to write a review somewhere. I don't really care where. And lastly, I want to read one more poem that's, I have several now. I have about 7 or 8 new ones in the same genre. And I'm thinking I might end up with a second edition with more in it. This one is what I wrote last week. It's called All Gone Batty. It's B-A-T-T-Y. And there's an epigraph at the beginning. The COVID-19 virus is thought to have jumped species from bats in Wuhan, China. And news report, every other news in the country. So then here's All Gone Batty. Across America, the worker bats hang through the days, waiting in their family caves, praying for safety, everything upside down. Their sonic signals, pixels of light, zoom magically across the dark pandemic. The Capitol is a mass of empty offices, cavernous halls of echoey marble walls where footsteps of lonely guards come back at them like bat navigation radar through the darkened government. In the White House, the master bat, rabid, frothing, swearing, screeching, orders the pandemic over, the stock market up, his golf courses open, while he splatters guano tweets across his sewery Oval Office. So that's all I have to show you. And I want to say that I do appreciate all the work that's gone into this, particularly Kristen, who seems to be a total bundle of energy, even when she's been through several crises. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Judith. And let's unmute and give her poetry snaps and applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the voice of what so many of us are feeling and thinking, and your creativity. Okay, Karma, our next reader.
You don't have to ask. Come on.
Okay, here she goes. All right, first of all, Christina, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Could you read her review after I give her the introduction?
Sure.
Okay, great. Victoria Zackheim is the author of the novel The Bone Weaver and editor of we're now moving into nonfiction. Victoria Zackheim is the author of the novel The Bone Weaver and editor of 6 anthologies. He Said What? Women Write About Moments When Everything Changed, international bestseller. The Other Woman, 21 Wives. Lovers and Others Talk Openly About Sex. Deception, Love, and Betrayal, For Keeps. Women Tell the Truth About Their Bodies. Growing Older and Acceptance. The Face in the Mirror. Writers Reflect on Their Dreams of Youth and the Reality of Age. Exit Laughing, How Humor Takes the Sting Out of Death. And Faith, Essays from Believers, Agnostics, and Atheists. This is also an anthology. Victoria can't be with us today, but we'll read you some reviews of this wonderful anthology by a very well-known author and speaker. Victoria Zackheim also makes her appearance at many, many writers' conferences around the country and teaches out of the UCLA Extension personal essay class. And she's appeared twice on the Today Show and also at the California Writers Club. Go ahead, Christina.
Oh, okay. Private Investigations by Victoria Zackheim. This is from Library Journal, published March 1st of this year. Mystery giants Anne Perry and Jeffrey Deaver are known for tales of twisty suspense and thrilling whodunits. But in this volume, edited by Zackheim, Creative Nonfiction, University of California, LA, they, along with 18 other crime fiction writers, explore the enigmas of their own lives. Some tackle actual mysteries. Hallie Efron visited a medium when her friend was haunted by a ghost. But most contemplate personal journeys. Martin Limon considers how the Korean War has impacted his fiction. Jacqueline Winspear and Charles Todd discuss the gravity of writing about World War II. Connie Mae Fowler recalls how her abusive childhood led to her choice not to have children. William Kent Kruger delves into his mother's mental illness and its influence on his storytelling, particularly his novel Ordinary Grace. The verdict. Genre fans are sure to be curious about this rare window into the lives of their favorite authors, as will anyone who enjoys compelling, candid tales. By Melissa Stager from Deerfield Park, Illinois.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Victoria. And we are eager to check out her book of essays. So next up is Gini Graham Scott. Carmen's going to switch out really quick. All right.
I can't start my video. You stopped it.
Okay. Well, if you can't start your video, I'll just play your movie, and then you can read with your screen up here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Gini Graham Scott, PhD, is a writer, publisher, and film producer who has published over 200 books, one of our most prolific authors. 50 for traditional publishers and 150 for her own company, Changemakers Publishing. She specializes in books on self-help, popular business, and social issues. She also writes reviews and ghostwrites books and scripts for clients. We don't know how she does it. She has written and executive produced 10 feature films, documentaries, and TV series. Gini has a very masterful book trailer, and she's willing to share with other authors how she did this. You will notice the quality of it really is amazing. And now Gini will read us the introduction and a couple of her quotes. This is a collection of quotes. Go ahead, Gini.
Yeah, originally I had another cover with some very scared looking people on this, and I changed the cover to
Duck, Karma Duck.
Okay, this is the introduction. This book has been written in a time of great fear and anxiety because a new invisible danger in the form of a single virus has transformed everyday interactions around the world. People fear sickness and death, so they're seeking ways to avoid this by hunkering down and avoiding social contact, which has been the lifeblood of society. Much fear and anxiety is also due to the uncertainty and not knowing what will happen. As a result, people fear the unknown and our ability to overcome this new threat to our lives. Often they experience anxiety, a type of fear and characterized by worry, nervousness, and unease, typically about an upcoming event or something with an uncertain outcome. Such current fears reflect the many fears we confront as we go through life. So the wisdom on dealing with different types of fears over the ages is still applicable today. These insights can help calm you and motivate you to make good choices about what to do. Then you can act accordingly. To this end, the following quotes show you the many ways you can understand and overcome your fear and anxieties. These quotes are also illustrate how to more courageously and wisely act to overcome fears and face challenges. The quotes are organized by the different ways of thinking about and dealing with fear. Each quote includes the name of the person first credited with a quote and a brief statement about who that person is or was. So the book consists of about a little over 100 quotes from famous people, and I'll just give you a couple of examples of what this is. So the biggest fear, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only thing we have to fear is fear ourselves. H.P. Lovecraft, the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. From Emerson, fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. And then Ben Jonson, there is no greater hell than to be a prisoner of fear. And then other quotes go on to give examples of what to do to confront those fears. And so I started writing a whole series of poems and songs about fighting the coronavirus, remember the good times. And if you go to my website, Changemakers Productions or changemakerspublishing.com, you'll see some of the books. On YouTube, if you go to Changemakers Publishing, you can get quotes, or the links to the various videos I've created. And I also have a website that creates these videos for other people. It's called mypromeo.com, and you can see that there. And I also have just recently gotten a broker because I want to sell these sites, and basically so I can focus on writing. And as you can see, I do a lot of writing, and since a lot of ghostwriting clients don't have money right now, I have a lot of free time, so I've been doing a lot of writing on different things, and I've created a whole category of songs. So
Your songs are amazing. Actually, you guys should really go and look up her songs. They have a certain quality that's like, they're just wonderful. I'm amazed at how you do it and the quality of your music and your production, and especially all of our playwrights should check her out. Gini just has so many talents.
Well, thank you. It's funny because the coronavirus ones are new, but then I went back to songs that I wrote in 1994, 1995.
Okay, Gini, I want to get you some applause here. So can everybody unmute and give Gini your applause?
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to share that Gini has one of her many books in one of our bundles. This one is called the what is this called? The Power Bundle.
The New Middle Ages.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it from here, Gini. Thanks. So this bundle has 2 fiction and 2 nonfiction books with perspectives on power struggles. So the nonfiction books are the New Middle Ages, which is this middle one here, which really speaks to the income equality that we're experiencing right now, and it's very well researched and a pretty amazing read. And Gini's coming out with a new version of it soon that really more clearly, like this came out pre-Trump era, and her next one's coming out soon. And then the Bullying Antidote. Whoops. Which talks about power and family dynamics, plus ways of teaching your kids power sharing instead of power over our bullying dynamic that pretty much came to the world right after that book was launched. The novels are Power in the Age of Lies by Mike Verant, and another book, Henry Hitz's first book, it's called White Knight, How One Man Came to Believe he was the one who caused the San Francisco City Hall killings and the Jonestown Massacre. All of these are incredible reads, and I encourage everybody to bid on this auction. And also, if anybody needs a copy of The Bullying Antidote, let me know if you have a family who could use some great positive parenting techniques. It's really for parents. Okay, so let's have another round of wait. We got Gini. We have one more nonfiction author. So really excited to have Cindy Rassicott close out our nonfiction section. Let's go to her slide. And all right. So it says CindyRassicott.com down under Karma's that you're betting or something. There we go. Thank you.
Drop my laptop.
This is like so weird. We're living in the future. Cindy received her master's degree in clinical psychology and is a licensed marriage family therapist. Her life has been a spiritual journey that took on new dimensions when she moved to Bangkok for 3 years. There she met her spiritual teacher, Venerable Dhammananda Bhikkhuni, which you're going to say right when you speak, the first fully ordained Thai Theravada nun an encounter that opened her heart and changed her life forever. This deepening relationship led to writing her memoir, Finding Venerable Mother, A Daughter's Spiritual Quest to Thailand, which chronicles her adventures along the spiritual path. So let's welcome Cindy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, take it away.
Hi, thanks everybody for all the hard work that's gone into this today. I'm delighted to be here to talk about my debut memoir, Finding Venerable Mother, A Daughter's Spiritual Quest to Thailand, published by She Writes Press. And you gave a great introduction, Kristen. I just wanted to say a couple more words. You've heard the expression, when a student is ready, the teacher appears. Well, that's what happened to me when I moved to Thailand and I met incredible women.
Somehow we lost your sound right after I moved to Thailand.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. So I met an incredible Thai Buddhist nun, Venerable Dhammananda Bhikkhuni, and you pronounced it very well, Kristen. And she did lead me on a spiritual journey from which there was no turning back. You've heard the expression, when a student is ready, the teacher appears. Well, that's what happened to me when I moved to Thailand for 3 years in 2005. Through our intimate relationship, Dhammananda was like a mother to me, and I was like a daughter to her. In fact, her name in Thai is Luang Me, which is Venerable Mother. Through her unconditional love and guidance and acceptance, I was able to heal a very fraught relationship with my own mother and also come into a deeper acceptance of ourselves. I feel we all need a message of hope during these difficult times, and this compelling memoir tells us that when we go forward with a truly open heart, faith, love, and forgiveness is possible. So today I'm going to read a little introduction from the prologue about when I met Venerable Dhammananda. And it starts off about 3 months after I moved to Bangkok. I'm at a women's conference and at a large downtown Bangkok hotel, and I'm attending an afternoon workshop called Faith, Feminism, and the Power of Love. After lunch, I headed to the workshop. It looked like about 50 women had showed up and were waiting for the presentation to begin. There were 8 panelists from South America, Iraq, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Thailand, seated in a half circle facing the audience. A few of them wore earphones for translation. The moderator led a discussion on whether being a feminist or having feminist values was a contradiction with having faith or practicing one's faith. I was a little sleepy after lunch and not paying too much attention when suddenly a tense debate broke out between 2 Muslim panelists. It was like watching a hard-fought tennis match, the ball being lobbed back and forth over the net. An uncomfortable silence followed the debate. That's when I first heard her speak. Seated at the edge of the semicircle was a tall, slender Thai woman dressed in saffron robes and flip-flops. Her head was a fuzzy crown of black shaven hair, and she wore thin wire-rimmed glasses. She spoke in a calm, quiet voice, soothing the waves of discontent. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water. Thank you. We cannot solve anything by anger. Anger doesn't lead us anywhere. It is much harder to practice loving kindness and compassion. That is the goal of Buddhism. I woke up in a flash of recognition as her words resonated deep within me. My body tingled all over, and I felt that she was speaking directly to me. Something was happening that I couldn't explain. I simply knew that I wanted to spend more time with her. The woman who uttered these words was indeed Venerable Dhammananda Bhikkhuni, is said in Thai, but it looks like Bhikkhuni in English. At the end of the panel, Dhammananda invited anyone who was interested to visit her international monastery for women. Her kindness was contagious. Curious, I approached her afterwards as she sat quietly. "I would like to come see you," I said. Dhammananda calmly pulled out a business card out of her briefcase and wrote down her cell phone number. "Come," she said, handing me the card. "Look for a large, golden, smiling Chinese Buddha seated at the temple entrance." It was as simple as that. All I had to do was ask. That was 15 years ago. To this day, I still remember the first words she spoke, the prophetic wisdom of my spiritual teacher and healer, Dhammananda Bhikkhuni. Thus began the first encounter in my personal transformation and spiritual development. Thank you, everyone. It's a joy to be here, and I've loved hearing all of you.
Applause.
Yay! Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That was beautiful, Cindy. How exciting to think about a spiritual quest that's just, that's something that would be great. Compassion is our salvation. We should all read that. Okay. We ready with Jeff Kingman? Oh, wait. Do I hear someone at the door? Hold on.
I think you do.
Wait, I didn't hear that doorbell. Wait, let me listen. Listen again. There it is. Door prize.
Door, excuse me, door prize. And I'm going to be pulling names out of this hat. So, if you would like a copy of Venerable Mother, just write in the chat, Venerable Mother, or even just Mother, and I will put your name in this hat.
I just love, you know, we talk about being a person of many hats, you know, which many of us are that, but she really is a person of many hats, and I love that our door prizes are going to be a circus of many hats. All right, so Karma, if you're talking, I can't hear you. Did you say something?
True. Just reminding folks, you put it in the chat to Sandy. It doesn't have to be to everybody.
Oh, okay. But we can also see what our competition is if you put it to everyone.
What if somebody only gets like 0, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, and if like, oh, now I really should withdraw because I really want all
No,
these.
everybody is getting, many people asking. I've had to tear up more pieces of paper.
That's great. Okay, so next up, so I've been texting with Thaddeus. Did you ever find the email, Thaddeus? Oh, yes.
I found the email.
Okay.
You just want me to read this?
Okay. So first, I will do his bio, and then you can read the review because Jeff
the review. That's what you're asking for, the Rusty Morrison review.
Yes. So since Jeff is not here to read, we're just going to read about his book. Karma, what are we seeing right over the book cover there? And there's got to be a name for this weird Zoom bleed, the green screen bleed. It's doing it again. That's creepy.
I think it's tomato soup.
The tomato soup bleed.
It's a sweet potato.
A sweet potato. That's like so surreal. Okay, here we go. Jeffrey Kingman lives by the Napa River in Vallejo, California. His poetry chapbook, On a Road, was published by Finishing Line Press in December of 2019. Jeffrey is the winner of the Red Berry Editions 2015 Broadside Contest, the winner of the 2018 Islands Book Award for an unpublished poetry book, a finalist in the 2018 Hillary Gravendike Prize Poetry Book Competition. I'm falling asleep here. And he received honorable mention in the 2017 Quercus Review Press Fall Poetry Book Award. Jeff has been published in Pank, Crack the Spine, Squaw Valley Review, and others. Jeff has a master's degree in music composition, wow, and has been playing drums in rock bands most of his life. You can see him there with his drum kit. That's awesome. Okay, so Thaddeus has a review here. Let's hear it.
A review by Rusty Morrison says, to speak of Kingman's brilliant, brazenly singular poems in On a Road, I turn to Italo Calvino, who says the function of literature is to communicate is communication between things that are different because they are different, not blunting, but even sharpening the differences between them, following the true bent of written language. Kingman is a wily conductor orchestrating our attention so that we perceive the profound instabilities inherent in our perception of experience. He does so through startling juxtapositions of the actual, the absurd, the philosophical, the erotic. He is a conductor of instant by instant alertness in which a rhythm of equipoise, despite the shocks, becomes apparent. He is a brigand's bravado as he ambushes our normative expectations and opens us to traveling, as Calvino asserts, the true bent of written language. It is a delightful and deeply valuable road of instant by instant arrivals for those with the courage to embark. A second,
go on.
A second review by Philip Barron says, grab your ghost and polish. Kingman invites the reader, when we woke, it was the next 15 days. On a road's restless voice of anticipation pays homage to the classic beat volume and makes it new through a grammar of adventure. A beautifully written continent-wide road trip that blends elements of Kerouac, skillfully condensed to essentials.
Well, I want to applaud for that, even though he's not here, just because like the surreal sweet potato seemed to underscore exactly what this review is about.
Oh, did the potato come back?
No, but it was there at the beginning and it was awesome. Thank you, Thaddeus. You guys, that was the voice of Thaddeus Howes, the answer man. He is our new vice president for the next year of the club. I just want to say a couple of years ago, we did a really wonderful reading up in Joaquin Miller Park, and hopefully we will be able to return to doing those again, where we have a reading and a barbecue. And our point was to find the next Jack Kerouac, to find the next Jack London. We're looking for the next amazing voices who are going to delight and move minds. And this sounds really exciting. Okay, so, dun. Okay, Carmel, we're ready to switch to our next poet. Our next band, it's Terry Tierney.
Okay, I do have a Terry. Hold on.
Hi, Terry. I want to say we saved the best till last because this is actually our last of our books that have already been published. After this, we're going to feature 4 more authors in the coming soon department. So you're not quite our last poet, but you're our last poet who has a book you can buy today. Okay, so bio. Terry Tierney is a writer who hails from the Midwest, but has planted roots in the San Francisco Bay Area. After serving in the Seabees, he completed his BA and MA at Binghamton University. Tierney completed a PhD in Victorian literature at Emory University. For years, he taught college composition and creative writing courses and survived several, which is why he does such great workshops for our club, and survived several Silicon Valley startups as a software engineer. He lives in the San Francisco Bay Area with his wife, Michaelin, did I get that right? Burnett, a librarian from the University of California, their son, and their goofy golden retriever. I want to see your dog. Tierney's work has appeared in countless publications. Lucky Ride by Unsolicited Press, an irreverent Vietnam-era road novel, is set to release in 2022. More can be learned at terrytierney.com. All right, go ahead, Terry.
Thank you. Just a quick thing. My last name is Tierney, just in case anybody's really going to the website. So I'll be reading from The Poet's Garage, which is the book that was released by Unsolicited Press last month. And I want to thank the CWC, all the people that worked so hard to put this together. And I also want to thank Kristen for her years of service as the president. So my poem, the themes in my poems tend to cover environment, home repair, family, and relationships. And this first poem is a poem about relationships and how they evolve in ways that we might not envision. It's called The Empty Bottle. Clenching its neck, you swing against the table's steel edge. Stars burst around us, shards of glass, blood-tinted wine on skin. Unable to move, our clothes discarded for ritual, the polished kitchen, littered now with edges. We stare at the glass, ourselves. We stare well into night, air cold, stiff as wax. I watch your hair turn gray, canyons form on your face, your flesh cooling under skin. In a concave mirror, I see my own body tighten with endless years. If I could move now, I would reach for the door. Neither of us move. We never break our pose, never leave that room. This next poem features a sentient bird. It's called Blue Jay. Blue Jay lances down from the red maple, squirrel darting in retreat, clutching phone line, ducking for cover. I sense the airborne threat, trying to pick cherries, a boy with courage only for groundfall. The blue jays screech and swoop, protecting even rotten fruit. I feel the bird bath to distract him. His sharp beak and talons claim cherries and water, staining the basin red with skins and pits. My family moves to a new town, then another, each house white, a 3-bedroom ranch where Blue Jay waits in the backyard tree. Redwood, box elder, catalpa, spruce, Blue Jay, always the same. It was years before he found me here, my own ranch house, my cherry seedling. When he lights on my windowsill, I know what he will say. Every move disturbs his nest. There's only one house, one tree, one Blue Jay, the color of sky. I'd like to read one more poem. This poem also has some sentient birds. It's called What the Seagulls Know. That pencil breaks in your hand, lines too taut to hold, ocean still as a desert, only water, no gulls. Most of them have flown here. They pace the room expectantly, staring as I write. I know why they came. I nest them in manuscripts. Gulls defend the balconies. Gulls eat pastry in Central Park. Shrieking gulls invade my sleep. I mail them back to you. Artist, lover, keeper. I dip my wings to your shore. Thank you.
Applause for Terry.
Yay.
Excellent.
Wait, what was that?
That was a doorbell for a door prize. And I will be pulling the names out of this yellow dog hat in honor of my yellow lab. So put the Poet's Garage in the chat, and I will put your name into this last hat.
I recently, the last place Terry and I were before we had to stay at home forever was San Antonio for the AWP with Christina Deptula. We were on a panel called Being Human, How Literature Helps. And I moderated this panel that was sort of a challenge, like why and how we should change the canon. And Terry found himself in the position of defending the canon. But he did a really great job of it. So I'll post a link to that panel here when I find it. It was really great, and I really respect and admire you, Terry. So thank you so much for that reading. And that brings us to our coming soon section. There's something going on in the other room. I think it's Jaws. There's a shark coming. Okay, so Nicole Berg, are you here? And Karma, are you ready to? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm totally spacing out. Are we done with the? We're done with the raffle?
I believe so.
Okay. Thank you again, Terry, and thanks, Sandy, for running the raffle. And
I just want to say one more thing, which is that anybody can.
You unmuted. Unmute, please.
Anybody can put their name down for any book that they want to be in the raffle for.
Okay,
Any
and I
of the
think
6 books.
that's our last door prize. So, now that you've heard them all. Also, now would be a great time, if there's an author that you want to speak with, if you can stick around for the breakout rooms, you can put that in the chat right now. And we still have 4 more to meet, but you can either put the topic, poetry, fiction, nonfiction, or you can put, I need a little more time, or you can put the author's name, and and you can get in the room with them. So one more one more auction. This is our final auction package. I would like to share with you, bless you, whoever that was. So we have one auction package that's called Words and Images, I think, and it's poetry and poetic imagery, and it contains art and literary journal Milvius Street, produced by Fred Dodsworth, that has a couple of our writers in it. I know Julia Southworth had a beautiful poem in it. Like Flesh Covers Bone back here, another Jan Steckel amazing work. She's an incredible poet. And 2 more by the incredibly prolific Dirk Wales. This one is The White Dog. It's a wonderful children's book about a white dog taking adventures all over the world. And Abandoned Sea is a super imaginative image book where he's a photographer also, and there's all these found images of the alphabet, and he writes a story around it. So just such creativity. So look for that in our auction. Okay, Karma, are you there? This thing on?
You don't have to wait for me. I'm always here. I just got to be unmuted.
Okay, turn it on. And is Nicole here, or what? Never did Nicole send a? Oh, Nicole has a video. She's going to appear by video. Let me just make sure I've got this queued up. I'm getting a lag here in my brain. But we can do this, guys. We can do it. Okay. We can maybe do this. Everybody send me like caffeine energy right now to help my brain cells work together.
Meantime, what a nice graphic, eh?
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, what a nice graphic. Thank you, Karma, for doing all the graphics and being our graphic artist.
Actually, Nicole made this one, but thank you anyway.
Okay. We're almost there. Almost there.
Oh, strike a pose.
Okay, so this one I'm going to just play through Google Video, and it should work. Okay, wait, don't start yet. Uh-oh. Zoom. Okay, got your Nicole. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hide me. Okay, Nicole M. Berg, we're so proud of her too, has worked for Walt Disney Feature Animation, Duck Studios, DIC, Film Roman, and trained in film pipeline processes at Pixar and IMD. In gaming and media, she has done animation and production design for Sierra Games and Symantec, and taught college-level drawing and animation skills. Nicole, this is a book that really shows, again, the diversity of our writers. This is so unusual. It's a nonfiction book that we haven't really seen the likes of, but it's marvelous, and who wouldn't want to read it? Okay. Wait, that's not it. That's it. And share. Mute.
Discovering Kubrick's Symbolism, The Secrets of the Films. Hello, and welcome to Discovering Kubrick's Symbolism, The Secrets of the Films by Nicole Berg, where we open with exploring the multiple esoteric motifs hidden in 2001: A Space Odyssey, which not only shed light on the monolith, but reveal symbols of great import as well, in addition to exposing some surprising features about Hal that up to now have remained hidden and undetected. Danny, Wendy, and Jack, being swallowed up in the maze that is the Overlook Hotel, unveil bombshell discoveries about The Shining. In Full Metal Jacket, Kubrick mixed gritty military realism with shocking metaphysical messages as grim warnings for humanity. In Clockwork Orange, Eyes Wide Shut, and Kubrick's other films, the master director eviscerates mankind's evil with great aplomb. Discovering Kubrick's Symbolism, out in August 2020.
I guess, yeah.
All right, so applause for that. She's not here to hear it, but she'll hear it on the video. So unmute and let's have applause for this incredible research and okay. I was really hoping this book would be out by Father's Day because my husband is really into Stanley Kubrick and had a fascinating conversation with Nicole. And when it comes out, we need to throw her a whole new launch party and a movie screening of anything, all of Kubrick. Okay. So, what's going on here? Okay, so the next screen, please. Okay. Rebecca, you ready? There she is. Okay, so this is our forthcoming fiction. Let's see. Rebecca Darling has studied Spanish literature, worked as a hospital administrator, and taught English as a second language to adults from all over the world. The discovery of family papers prompted her to explore the repercussions of family secrets and of the ways we attempt to reveal ourselves. She shares her love of story both with preschoolers at a Head Start program and with the members of the book club she has belonged to for decades, and seriously, decades. I have never known what Rebecca writes, and now, ta-da! It's a beautiful new novel. But she shows up to meetings. I really enjoy seeing your face at the meetings. She lives in Oakland, California with her husband Arthur, where they are fortunate to frequently spend time with their children and grandchildren.
Not now.
Right.
Okay.
Debuts in September. Now I'm moving you. Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to the story in general of the novel is 16-year-old Juliana disappears from Madrid in 1661. Her aunt, Anna, searches for her until Anna realizes that her search could put Juliana in danger. In 1992, in St. Louis, Missouri, a woman finds Juliana's diary wrapped in a quilt in her deceased mother's home. I'm going to read an excerpt, and in this part, Anna has heard from a servant that her brother, his daughter, Juliana, Anna's niece, and Juliana's governess, Sylvia, have disappeared. And Anna goes to her brother Sebastian's house to see what's going on. When Anna arrived at her brother's house, the young maid Constanza greeted her. Buenos dias, Doña Ana. Please come in. I am sorry, but no one is in today. Señorita Juliana is not here. I do not know when she left, but Don Sebastian left an hour ago. Constanza had always seemed to Anna to possess a timid manner, but today she seemed particularly wary. Sebastian left an hour ago, but Fernando informed me that your master had left early this morning, before the household arose. Oh, yes, Signora, he had. But then he returned. And left again? Yes, Doña Ana. Did he say where he was going? No. Or where he had been? Of course not, Signora. Has Senorita Juliana or Sylvia returned? No, Senora. Did Constanza? I am losing patience. Please tell me if you know anything about what has been going on here. I don't know what you mean, Senora. Then please take me to my niece's room. Anna stopped abruptly at the doorway to Juliana's room. Clothing and toilet articles lay scattered about, but not as though considered and rejected, as one would expect in the normal course of choosing items for a trip. Dresses lay rumpled on the floor, and a shoes mate might be found across the room. Even the jar of hand cream, which Juliana had received with delight from Anna, was broken on the floor, its contents melding with the colors of the small carpet next to it, muting the bold hues, obscuring the rigid geometric patterns. Part of Anna's mind judged that the carpet was now lovelier. She walked over and picked up a shard from the jar. It is very thick to have shattered so. It is as though it were thrown rather than simply dropped, she murmured. Lying at the border of the spilled cream was a doll that Juliana had received several years earlier and cherished still. There was cream upon its face, as though it had been abruptly pushed from childhood to womanhood. Constanza stood silently in the doorway. What happened here? Anna asked her. Just as you see, Senora. It occurred to Anna that perhaps the girl was not obtuse, but frightened, and this thought startled and worried her. Are you afraid of something, Constanza? No. Anna studied the downturned face and wondered where there was meaning in the fact that the girl had not even asked, afraid of what? Thank you.
You guys know the drill. Applause.
Yay.
You can pre-order it pretty much wherever you can order books, so it's available.
And it's also amazingly already up in our bookshop. Even though it's not out yet, you can pre-order it in our bookshop too, which is fantastic. All right, thank you so much, Rebecca, and congratulations. It just sounds wonderful. It's a very big deal. All right. Okay, next up. Okay, so this next one is also another one that I'm so impressed that it's out this year. More applause for Rebecca. So I believe this. So Patricia McBroom spoke a little over. It wasn't quite 2 years ago, but she spoke, and she had just the beginnings of this book, and we spoke, and she was ready to give up, and then all of a sudden her book is coming out this fall, and it looks just incredible. I'm gonna find the cover and show it when you're done. It's beautiful artwork, but I believe this one falls under the category of autobiofictionalography as well. Like, oh hey, she's showing it. Here we go. Okay, great. Thank you. That's pretty. Okay, Patricia McBroom is an anthropologist, science journalist, and professor of women's studies. Her 1985 book on women adapting. Wait, you sent me in a video. Was that a reading or was that a trailer?
It's neither. It was a blurb.
A blurb. Okay, so well, that either has gone or will go up on our Facebook page. Okay. As I was saying, Patricia McBroom is an anthropologist, science journalist, and professor of women's studies. Her 1985 book on women adapting to professional roles on Wall Street was described in a New York Times review as a brave and stunningly intuitive journey. A former science writer at the Philadelphia Inquirer, McBroom earned her degree in anthropology at the University of Pennsylvania, and in 1980 published a book on the genetics of behavior. She taught at Rutgers College, Mills College, and the University of California at Berkeley. Welcome, Patricia. And you are the star. Go for it.
You don't have the recording?
Do you want me to play the recording? Yeah.
Could you? Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure, hold on.
Or would you rather I read?
The recording was really magnificent. Let me see if I can pull that up. Thank you for bearing with us, you guys. We're coming to our... where did I put it? I'm starting to, there we go. Ha-ha. Okay, triumph. Couple more clicks, and here we go.
Welcome, everyone. Let me start here with a story. 2 days after Donald Trump was elected President of the United States, I took a trip with magic mushrooms, and a powerful female spirit arose in me. A spirit that said, "No, I will not be defeated." It was a kind of archetype, perhaps an earth spirit, that arose. It was absolutely opposed to this parody of a patriarchy that had overtaken our government. I know I shared this feeling, if not this experience, with millions of other people. And from that moment forward, I decided to write the story of my journey in search of egalitarian society through 50 years of science writing and anthropology. That story is in my book, Dance of the Deities, and I am Patricia McBrome. Here I bring together the evidence that we have evolved as human beings for egalitarian society, with mirrors in the sacred realm for both men and women, not men alone. For thousands of years, masculine balanced the feminine, a balance that has been lost in the Western world, beginning with patriarchy some 5,000 years ago. Much of our knowledge of human nature has been skewed by male dominance, which has tended to eliminate awareness of egalitarian society, both ancient and modern. Today, evidence of goddess worship in the prehistoric era is being written out of history books again. In this book, I take you on a journey back to 10,000 BC to gather that evidence and forward into psychedelic medicines and new ways of living in community. I compile evidence of the ancient goddess of nature and call on women to replace comic book images of feminine beauty with authentic, earth-based images of female power and authority, and to deal with the dark side of the female deity. My hope is that to preserve our planet, we will bring together again the masculine and feminine within a science-based environmental sense of the sacred. Thanks. My book will be published in August.
I've got chills. All right, everybody, let's give it up for Patricia and her magnificent work here.
Yay, Patricia.
This is wonderful. You brought your own cheering gallery.
Yes, you did.
This is my community.
Your community. Thanks, you guys, for showing up. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to have you here. And I love it.
The rocks. Her pages chill me to the marrow.
It does. I got tears. I got tears. Okay.
You have tears. I have tears.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't have to read that yourself. That would have been hard to get through. So
I have the mushrooms.
All right. All right, everybody. This brings us to our final reader. I'm just so happy this has gone so well. And very thrilled. Thank you again, Patricia. So I'm going to show you something. This next reader is just a really amazing local poet. Well, I'll read you his thing, and then I'm going to show you the cover artwork for his book, which the cover hasn't been designed, but he's got his artwork, and I want to show it off. Are you there, Paul?
I am, yes.
Okay, cool. So, Paul Corman Roberts' second full-length collection of poems, Bone Moon Palace, will be released by Nomadic Press in the fall of 2020. Previous collections include his full-length debut, The Abominauts Are...
Abominats.
Abominats, thank you. It was like, mutants? Okay. The Abominats are coming to piss on your lawn through Howling Dog Press, 2006. And the chapbook collections Neo Commuter, Tainted Coffee Press, 2009. 19th Street Station, Full of Crow Chap Series, 2011. Notes from an Orgy, Paper Press, 2014. And We Shoot Typewriters, Nomadic Press, 2015. His poem Sausalito won the Out of Our Magazine poetry contest in 2010, and his short story, The Deathbed Confession of Christopher Walken, placed second in Subterrane Magazine's National Fiction Contest in Canada. He has also served as an editor for online magazines Full of Crow, he published me, and he discovered me, and Red Fez, where he still serves as an advisory member. He currently teaches workshops for the Older Writers Lab in conjunction with the San Francisco Public Library, the San Francisco Creative Writing Institute, and is a substitute teacher for Oakland Unified School District, while remaining actively and proudly involved in raising his daughter Hannah, a 16-year-old future theater major. Woohoo! And I just wanted to say our last reader here, so I'm a huge fan of Paul's, and he's one of those poets when he stands up and read, I just sit up and listen, and I imagine putting myself, his imagery just puts me in all the places. I think I did a post about you, but I wanted you to see the photo of his book cover. We started off with Hello Oakland, Oakland, I'm Not Dead, and we are finishing with an Oakland icon for which he's chosen for his cover. I wonder, does anybody recognize this piece of art? Okay, we're gonna have put it in the chat if you think you might know it, and Paul will reveal this at the end. Okay, Paul, you ready? Do you want to start your video?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Start your videos.
Yeah, I guess I can't get it going. It's not working for some reason.
Oh, here, I'll see if I can turn you on. See if I can turn you on. Mm-hmm. This is getting interesting already. Okay, I'm tired. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. How about that?
Okay, guess that does it.
Okay. There he is.
Am I there? Okay.
Are you there? You're here.
I'm here. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, there I am. So yeah, this is so I guess the image, the cover image, this poem will give it away. This is the title poem of the upcoming book, Bone Moon Palace. It starts walking the dog in a burned PVC morning, flooding the nostrils, a familiar toxic odor. You have yet to connect to the thumping of a chopper mere blocks away. Early morning bust, you figure. Next comes all the vine chatter. Why does everything smell like smoke? Wispy tendrils of bad news. Warehouse fire last night. Coalescing tsunami breaks over 3 eyes. This is the place. This is where it happened. This is their website. Their website. An enveloping wall of poison accumulata. Alameda Coroner's Office reports preparations for a large casualty event. Helicopters for days. There is no further information. There is no further information. There is no further information. Set your watch to the finger pointing. So many fingers pointing. Fingers running over lists. Fingers running over names. Names you know better than to read the comments. You know better than to agree with the comments. Even when you do, there is no further. There is no further. Swipe, swipe. Contacts, frantically push buttons. Please text me back. Please just text me. Please just text. Send. Wait. There is no. You want so badly to check out. You want so badly to disconnect, and you know you cannot wait. It's that third eye that's always the first to give water for the dead. You don't realize until the reservoir opens that the rest of the mirrors cannot hold the deluge back. Wait, swipe, text, send. Wait, swipe, text, send. There are arms floating above a gangplank, arms in space. Come on down, one and all. Come down to 31st Avenue, y'all, for the full bone moon open mic family jam. The fam jam, you know what we am, a new kind of audience participation where we can be anything or anyone that we want to be. Give water. Give water for this house of yes. Give water in this drought. Water for a demon dog turned loose on the streets of Oakland. Water for lovers lost and found. Water for screams in the wild night. Water for the sound of buckling beams. Give water for messages sent in faith. Water for a bone moon gone broke, and then give silence. The silence of dozens in a fast food parking lot becomes hallowed ground. Give blankets for the unhomed. Food for the unfed. Give me your arms one last time. Give me your love one last time, and I'll give you mine to protect us from the coming storm. As our vessel drifts off into the ocean of night, as we finally transform this broken down bone moon palace, this ephemeral hoarding into the flotilla of yes, with full audience participation, we will be anything we want to be. Text, send, text. Now, the sun has set like it did last night, but tonight, December 3rd, 2016 is nothing like last night. Last night there was hope. We just hadn't realized it yet. There, and text receive. And finally it says, Mama, we are going to die. Mama, we love you. Sad.
Okay, yeah, no, we're just all sitting in stunned silence. Thank you. Can everybody show yourselves and mute yourselves and applause for Paul. Thank you.
Oh.
That was amazing. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so back to gallery view, everyone. Let's all get together here. Thank you, Paul. I just want to say that I'm really happy you're in the club. I'm happy everyone is in this club, and I just want you to know if there's someone who you think should be a part of this community, you can get them into the club. I twisted Paul's arm. No, he came in as a speaker, and you guys can do that. If there's people whose voices you'd like to add to our collection, let us know who they are. So, how many people do we have? Okay, everybody who's here, go ahead and turn on your videos. We've thank you so much. I think we've gone only like an hour or like 50% more over our recommended time, which is actually pretty great for our first attempt at a Zoom meeting. And
you need to release people for their videos.
Okay. I need to release people? What do you mean?
It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Karma, can you help me like ask everybody to start there? Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to send everybody to the darkness. Welcome back. Okay. I see Sandy shaking the hat. So
who shall I draw first?
So before we do our door prizes, I just wanted to say, if you can stay for the breakout rooms, that would be great. I wasn't able to organize them like I wanted to. My brain just like puffs of it are just floating away. But I'll start the breakout rooms after our door prizes and a final screenshot and round of applause, and you guys can stay and chat and talk to the authors, talk to each other. I really don't know who's going to be in one. Maybe you'll roll the dice and you'll get the person you really wanted to talk to, and you can leave from the breakout room. One more announcement: we are going to, if those of you who are members of the club have not yet been to a new member orientation, see if you can make it on July 27th. That's next That's next Saturday at 10 a.m. It's going to be
July?
27th.
on Zoom.
June.
We wish the last one was actually up at Walking Miller Park, and so we in our imaginations we will be going there, but
Kristen,
that might be a
Kristen,
while.
Next week is June 27th.
Mercury's in
Oh,
retrograde.
see, yeah. So in a month, midsummer. Again, for those of you who missed our meeting, we're going to continue our support groups this summer on the third Sunday in July and in August. So you can still come to the craft group and our marketing group. And in August, we're going to get together right here in whatever room you're in for our summer social. So we'll try and do that, and hopefully everybody can share their stories and eat some good food. It's a potluck, by the way, and and enjoy each other's company. Thank you. She got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much to all the writers. And I really, I would like you guys to all send a special healing energy to my mom. She's the one she actually broke her back yesterday. But fortunately, talking about networking, I happen to have this amazing new volunteer who's broken her back 25 times, and she's writing a book about it. And she happened to be just there for me when I came, and this club is wonderful in so many ways. And now I will turn it over to Sandy, who will pass out
All
our
right.
prizes.
Well, all of you folks who are expecting to have their name pulled out of the hat for expecting trouble everyone except Fred will be disappointed, because Fred is the one where is Fred? Fred, wave your hand out.
Fred had to leave the meeting, but he will be
never mind.
thrilled.
Well, Fred will get expecting trouble.
Yay! Lucky Fred.
I better write that on there, because I'm going to start.
You don't have to be here to win. That's a common rule. We didn't decide that.
Oh yeah, must be present to win.
Oh, okay. Pull another name. We don't have to tell him. It'll just be on video, and if he watches it, he'll learn.
Wow, I've already used my power to manipulate things in a cruel and unfortunate, corrupt way.
Yeah, it didn't take long, Karma.
So am I or am I not?
Your new president, by the way, Karma Bennett.
Right. I do what Karma says.
Okay, do what Karma says.
Karma, what do you say?
What do you say, Karma? Do you have to be president to win?
Yeah, I like that because I like the troopers.
Okay, it is Bernadine.
Yay, Bernadine!
Bernadine, congratulations!
Goodness, it wasn't me. That would have been real bad.
You guys are gonna have to put your email in the chat so Sandy can send it to you. She can send you the ebook.
Okay, and now
may I say Bernadine is my friend, so I believe she's already read Expect Trouble, so I will send her Expect Betrayal. I don't believe she's read Expect Betrayal.
That's the new one.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
So the next book to be given away is Kristen's book, The Soles of Her Feet, and the person who wins that is Melinda.
Congratulations, Melinda. Yay. By the way, when I do readings of The Soles of Her Feet, we talk about shoes, and you have to look at my shoes here. So my Salon my writing shoes. So enjoy.
So
that's my hat.
You said that. That's her hat. So now we're coming up with
Cindy, you're so cute.
Finding Venerable Mother, Cindy's book. And the winner is Diane. Is Diane here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you're
lucky.
There. I see her. Woohoo! All right. And next is this is Lily's book, Freefall. And the winner of Lily's book is Rebecca. Rebecca, darling. Yay!
Hey!
Yay! Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Yay. And
Arrow. Yeah. And then next to that on the right is like refresh.
I believe next I am giving away. Oh, already gave that away. Into the Black.
Oh boy.
Into the Black. Who's getting into the black? It's gonna be, nope, Fred. He has no idea what he's missing out on. FOMO. Melinda, do we have a thing about pulling a name twice? Melinda.
Oh, what a lucky person.
Yeah. So
I don't think we came up with a rule on that. Should we ask the president?
We did.
What's your ruling on that, President? Can someone win too? You're not used to me calling you president. Karma?
Oh, I was responding to someone in the chat. What?
Can someone win 2 books?
Sure.
Spread it around. Okay, she says sure.
Okay.
Lucky Melinda.
Okay. And finally, in the Terry Tierney Poet's hat, we have Keith. Oh, how appropriate is that?
Oh. Yay.
Another. Yay, Keith, and yay, thanks. Terry. And this is the yellow dog hat in honor of my yellow lab. And thank you, everyone, for participating in the free raffle. Now, do the part that's not so free, but that supports the book club and the members in it, and that is go bid on some books in the silent auction.
Okay, I'm going to put the link to...
Let that go until July. Is that correct? 10 days?
Yeah, so it's going 10 days. We would like to help write our member a check by July 1st so she can pay rent. And we'd really appreciate everybody bidding and bid
generously.
Bid generously and bid often.
I think everyone should check back at least every day, once a day, to make sure that you haven't been outbid.
Absolutely, because some of these books are treasures. Also, I just wanted to once again return to our other fundraiser, which is my, let's see, I'll share my book, The Wind in Our Sails. Well, you can get to it from that link that I just put up. So these are my essays of the club, and I'm going to actually give, if anybody would like one for free, you may have one. I really would like you to donate to the club. But in closing, I would just like to mention that the first essay in that book was, or the first message was, when I became the president, I said writers are like cats, and I'm really not interested in herding cats. But I'm a dancer, and really what I wanted was to make cats dance information, Busby Berkeley style. And I feel like I've achieved that goal with this incredible orchestrated production of all my writers just taking turns and each coming into the spotlight. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this happen. So.
And let's everybody unmute yourself and give Kristen and Karma a round of applause for the work they've done. Kristen has been working nonstop on this.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
And I appreciate your applause and all of your support, and I look forward till next time. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye, and we're going to all go into breakout rooms with about 6 people, and you can talk for a while and then say goodbye from there. I'll see everybody this summer. Thank you again for coming, and read a lot of books.
Write a lot of books.
Oh yeah, that too. Write a lot of books. Keep writing. Sail on, sail on, sail on and on and on. Bye. You guys going? I'm just going to stay here and wave. Bye. Sail on. Sail on. Sail on and on and on. Bye, Terry. My hand's getting tired. Thank you. Yay. All right. The end.